But you asked me why I supported Trump, and I've given you two reasons. I've given you two bills that he signed.
But the thing is, if I've given you counter arguments against both of those bills, and I've given you compelling reason why you shouldn't support him rather than something else. Okay, I'll repeat myself because you interrupted me. I've already given a counter argument against both of those bills.
Well,
you're interrupting me again. I'm going to repeat myself again. I've already given you a counter argument against both of those bills, both the Missions Act and the Genius Act, that you haven't responded to or addressed, as well as I've given you my own argument directed towards you to once again demonstrate that Donald Trump has crossed realistic red lines that you and every other veteran in America should hold to.
Hello?
Hi, did you catch anything that I just said?
Yeah, I think we had a cutout, Dean. That was my bad.
I'm going to move on to the next
Probably
guest.
my internet.
The reason I'm going to move on to the next guest is just because I literally repeated myself like 10 times. And I'm going to be honest, like this is just me talking here. Nothing bad about that last guest. I just like really didn't feel like repeating myself for 11th time. You know, nothing bad about that guest. Very well could have been his internet. You know what I mean? I just didn't feel like repeating myself for an 11th time. What's going on? Do you support Trump as president? Jeremy.
Yep.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
I was born in July 6, 2006.
You can...
Well, I'm Robin Margaret.
You would actually be 19. Okay, goodbye. Moving on, quite frankly, Anna, thank you so much for the $20 donation over on PayPal, marking the very first donation of the day. Thank you so much, Anna. Anna with the $20 says, me and my geckos love watching you. Hope this helps get your girlfriend some flowers. You know what? I will buy my girlfriend some flowers with the $20. Thank you, Anna. Let's get to her Anna W's down below in that chat while we're looking for that next Trump supporter. And if that next Trump supporter is you, go ahead and hop in that queue. But just make sure that if you are in that queue over on TikTok, that you are at least 18 years old and you support Trump. Thank you so much, Anna. What's up? Do you support Trump?
We ultimately come to attract.
Hello?
Hey, what's up? Are you MAGA?
I am not.
All right. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your day, ma'am. However, we are just looking to debate Trump supporters. So please make sure that we're following that rule. If we happen to be in the queue, let's go to move on to the next guest, Tyler, as well as Andrew with the second donation of the day. Thank you so much for the $15 on Venmo. Andrew says, what do you think the reason Hegseth is bringing all the admirals and generals in? I don't know, and I'm not going to speculate either. I'm actually very curious to figure out the answer to that question myself, Andrew. And then Sarah, thank you for the $20 as well on Venmo. Sarah with a 20, thank you so much. Says Gen X follower here. Thank you for all that you do to meaningfully engage and meaningful, respectful dialogue with others. Your work matters. Thank you so much, Sarah. Show some love to Sarah, Andrew, and Anna down below in that chat, y'all. As well as Jordan. Thank you for the $20 super chat on YouTube. Sorry, not Jordan, Janet. Thank you so much, Janet. And I apologize for calling you Jordan. Huge shout out to Janet, Anna, Andrew, and Sarah. Guys, thank you so much. What's going on, Tyler? Do you support Trump as president?
Yes, sir. I did vote for Trump, and I would say I still support him for the majority of what he stands for, but I have been very disappointed with the Epstein files and strong support for Israel.
Right, you should very much so be disappointed with the Epstein files. Everyone should be disappointed with the Epstein files. And honestly, I think that alone is enough to never support him as president again.
Well,
now, I will just ask you real quick, if you would allow me to finish. How old are you?
I'm 19.
And what year were you born in?
2006.
Okay, well, go ahead and take it away and tell us why you support Trump.
I believe that Trump stands for my morals and my point of view, especially whenever Kamala Harris was, Kamala, whatever you want to say, was terrible, the worst. I mean, I don't know how can you sit there and watch a campaign? I don't know, you're picking between two poisons, of course, right?
So why was Harris the worst?
Her policies.
Which ones, specifically?
How about using taxpayer-funded dollars for transgender surgeries of prisoners?
Okay, all right. So I'm unaware of the current statute insofar as hormone replacement therapy or sex reassignment surgery for prison inmates, and if that is covered by Medicaid/Medicare, as meaningful medical services are for all prison inmates. And that wouldn't it be a policy that she ran on? That would have been more so a fact of the medical health care services in America offered to inmates.
Her exact verbatim was that she believes that that's something that we should do. And as far as when you actually watch the rallies, I don't think she ever even had a...
Can you play me that clip? I'm just curious.
I mean, dude, it was literally in a Trump commercial.
Well, I think what was in a Trump commercial is just Donald Trump saying that she wanted to give illegal transgender alien sex reassignment surgeries in prisons.
Yeah, it was a clip of her getting interviewed, and they asked her if that's something that she believes in or that they should cover, and she said yes. So that means she agrees with the idea.
Okay.
I'm not saying she put for a policy.
Wait. Why
would
I
my
just want to
taxpayer
clarify.
dollars be funding that?
So right now, your taxpayer dollars are funding a genocide in Palestine, and you're okay with that.
I agree. I'm not okay with that. I told you earlier.
Because you said that you're not pro-Israel. So I just want to clarify that apparently Kamala Harris just saying that prison inmates should be able to receive state-covered medical service as they always have been is a red line to hold against her. But Donald Trump being worse for the ongoing ethnic cleansing on the Gaza Strip is just something you kind of write off and ignore as it relates to him. Now, I will ask you once again if you allow me to finish. No, not the exact same thing. I understand that she is pro-Israel, just not as pro-Israel as Trump is, and that's a fact. Donald Trump will tell you that. In fact, he told everyone at his debate with Joe Biden that he is the most pro-Israel president that we've ever had in the history of this country. Meanwhile, he called Biden a quote-unquote dirty Palestinian and then said that Kamala Harris would have members of Hamas and literal terrorists running her foreign policy. It is important to acknowledge that he is significantly more pro-Israel than she was. Now, once again, I'm just still curious. You said that you didn't like Kamala Harris because of the policy that she ran on. Please tell me one policy that she ran on in the election that you were not a fan of, because you tried to go down this line of thought of like her saying that she supports sex reassignment surgeries being offered to prison inmates. If you could play me that clip, if you could give me a resource for that, that would be great. But you even acknowledged that that wasn't one of her policies, meaning that you acknowledged that you didn't answer my question. So I will go back to my question, my friend. Tell me one policy that she ran on in the election that you made made her in your mind a very evil, terrible candidate, as you suggested.
Well, should we go to her literally having Cardi B representing the DNC? I mean, like, when you look at these things, how can you look at these rallies where she has, was it Sexy Red? I think someone performed up there. How can you look at this and go, man, this is a good leader? Megan Thee Stallion. How can you look at this and go, man, this is a good leader for the future of America?
Yeah, because they're connecting with the youth. But I mean, I don't even owe you that.
That's not connecting with the youth.
I don't even owe you that answer. One moment. I don't owe you said answer to your question because that's not a policy. But if you want to know, yeah, connecting with the youth is important. Connecting with young voters is important. So on and so forth. And I don't really think that's too much of an issue. In fact, I think it's a good thing. But I mean, if you want to talk about affiliations with people like that, of course, you're going to take issue with Megan Thee Stallion being at a Kamala Harris rally. And that's going to make you never support her in your lifetime. But then when Donald Trump is best friends with Epstein and is sending him letters with the statement, may every new day be another wonderful secret outlined by the depiction of a naked body of a little girl, or brings Kid Rock and Hulk Hogan to the RNC, not just one of his rallies prior to the election, you take no issue with that at all. Isn't that right? And I guess we will never know if that is right because this scared little boy left in the middle of my sentence. Tyler is gone. But let's go ahead and move on to the next guest at this point. I'm going to try to cut it on the name, Colin. I'm a little tired today, so maybe my fuse is a little bit shorter than usual. I need to keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. Right now, go ahead and let me know in that chat if you are a Trump supporter and you'd like to come up here and have a conversation with me. Go ahead and just put a Trump with your age. Moving on to the next guest right now, we got Henry loading up into the live stream as we speak. In the meantime as well, Laura, thank you so much for the $40 donation over on PayPal. I still have that cut in my lip, so it literally hurts to smile. Ow, I just hurt my mouth smiling. Lauren, seriously, that is so fucking kind of you. Lauren with the $40 says contribution to the Flowers for Girlfriend Fund. That is so kind of you. Holy fuck. Thank you, Lauren. Let's get 400 Lauren W's down below in that chat for the $40. That is seriously so kind of you. As well as Tanetta, I believe, that is Tahneta, with a $20 donation on Venmo. Thank you, Tanetta. They say you are smart and informed, and you give me faith in the future. Thank you for standing up for the democracy. I appreciate you for the love, Tanetta. That is so kind of you. As well as Tori with a $15. Thank you so much for the love, Tori. Show some love to Laura, Tanetta, and Tori down below in the comment section. I do really appreciate all three of you. What is up, Ben? Do you support Trump as president?
Yep.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, what year were you born in?
July of 2006.
Okay, and what time is it?
It is 3:19.
And what state do you live in?
Yeah. So I wasn't born in the U.S., but we moved here, and I'm in Massachusetts, in Boston.
Okay. Can you name one state that borders Massachusetts?
Cookie King Mogzu.
Moving on to the next guest. Hop in that queue if you support Trump as president, and we'll get you up here. We got the next guest loaded in right now, guys. Only hop in that queue if you happen to support Trump as president. We got Selena joining. Let's go. As well as Red Win. Thank you so much for the $15 donation on Venmo, bro. Thank you so much, Red Win. They say, I've been watching your stream for over a year now, and I learn something from you every day. Thank you for educating others. Thank you so much. As well as Sergio with the $10 on Venmo for the Girlfriend Flower Fund. Thank you, Red Win and Sergio. Thank you guys so much. We're going to move on to the next guest right now. Hop in that queue of your Maga. We got Cobblestone connecting to the stream right now. Also, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen in the meantime over on TikTok, and drop a like on YouTube. We got Isabella connecting. Hey, what is going on, Isabella? Do you support Trump?
Hello? Oh, yes, I do.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 20.
Okay, all right. Isabella, why the hell do you support the worst president of your 20 years of life, Mr. Trump?
Okay, well, I wouldn't say like I really support him as like obviously a person, but I support more. Okay, I'm from Colorado, and so big time lived in Denver, and something that really was like the immigration policy for me and the Venezuelans knocking on my door wasn't something I was really happy about.
Okay, so yeah, you believe that there was a bunch of undocumented Venezuelan gang members that were like taking over the war?
I don't believe it. I saw it.
No,
And
you
then
didn't. No, you didn't.
yes,
Quit the crap.
What?
Quit the crap.
There was literally gang stuff going on in my apartment building.
You know who else lived in the Denver area at that time period? Me.
You? Yeah.
Yeah. You don't get to pull. You don't get to pull the card that you live there. Therefore, you saw it. Because guess what? So did I. I didn't see it. Here's the next question. You said that there was like gang activity going on in your apartment complex,
Yes.
whatever, so on and so forth. How did you know that they were Venezuelan gang members that were undocumented immigrants?
I knew that just because of other people that were doing business within them as well, and I heard what was going on within my apartment complex as well.
You heard it?
Okay, but I will say I heard.
I just have a
didn't know
question.
for a fact.
Did you hear them refer to each other? Oh, hello, my fellow Venezuelan gang member, undocumented immigrant. Is that what you heard?
No, I was saying that's why I heard it. I didn't know for a fact.
Who did you hear it from?
I heard it from like my neighbors and such and so, and then people that lived on my floor as well.
And then how did your neighbor know that they were undocumented Venezuelan gang members?
I don't for sure know, but I thought we were doing business with them and such and so.
What business?
I can't say it like DRUGS.
Honey Buns, thank you so much for the autumn picnic. So you're telling me that your neighbor was buying DRUGS from them, and your neighbor said that, oh, like when they were selling DRUGS to me, they told me that they were undocumented Venezuelan gang members?
Okay, not the undocumented part, but they were Venezuelan gang members. But mostly,
How do they even know that they were Venezuelan gang members?
Just overall, the immigration policy just was not safe in my eyes because like Laken Riley was a huge example of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't support how Biden just let the walls down because of that. There's so many people that have died because of that as well.
Yeah, so just real quick, you said the word overall there, and then you pivoted. That was a deflection away from the original position. I'm going to go ahead and just wrap up that original position here with a bow in the box. So no, I don't even know if you're telling the truth when you tell us that your neighbor told you they were undocumented Venezuelan gang members. You could just be making that up on the spot
Not
to justify
undocumented.
what you're saying. But what I will say is even if your neighbor did indeed tell you that, well, I don't think that your neighbor's word of mouth is going to be the standard of truth, right? Now, just to move on to this new argument, talking about Lake and Riley, I have a question. Do you know who Molly Tibbetts is?
I don't believe so. I'm not aware.
Molly Tibbetts was an American woman that was murdered by an undocumented immigrant in this country under Donald Trump's first administration. And I think it makes sense for you to apply your selective empathy towards a woman murdered by an undocumented immigrant under Biden to push a political narrative than just not know or forget about Molly Tibbetts altogether. And here's what I'll say about that. I think that all violent crimes are bad. I think that violence against women is absolutely atrocious. But if you want to suggest that, well, because an undocumented immigrant murdered Lake and Riley, that therefore we could stereotype all undocumented immigrants as violent criminals that want to murder and rape women, so on and so forth. That is incredibly wrong. And it's also important and meaningful to point out that in this country, undocumented immigrants are 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes compared to natural U.S.-born citizens.
Okay, I understand. And I'm not like trying to be mean or anything. Like, I'm just trying to view my standpoint, and I've been watching your lives now for like the last week or so. And so I have been on the more independent side, I will say, mostly because of how you were talking about how Trump had said all of these things as well as in the bad and racist things now, because I also see people saying that I'm racist now. Okay.
Well, but maybe like one thing I'll also add on here about Trump is like you're telling us that, oh, like undocumented immigrants, like evil, terrible, like murdering American women. Yeah, I did explain there how it's unfair to therefore stereotype all undocumented immigrants as like evil, terrible, criminal, etc. And how that actually is hateful bigotry. And then I gave you the fact that they're 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes than citizens. But once again, I think that you have a compelling argument there in the sense that if there is an undocumented immigrant that does commit a violent crime, they should either be thrown in jail or deported to stay in jail in another country. I don't really think you're going to find anyone that disagrees with you there. But I find it a bit hypocritical for you to say, well, because there are some undocumented immigrants that are committing violent crimes, then we need to deport all undocumented immigrants. Meanwhile, you actively support a president who is adjudicated to have raped a woman and found guilty of 35 felonies in a criminal court, and you don't even say he should, at the bare minimum, be removed from the most powerful position available to any human on earth, that position being the presidency of the USA.
No, my position is whereas in Kamala and Biden let down the wall, and now I've just seen so many criminalized acts from illegal immigrants a lot, and I've seen so many deaths and such and so, and it's really upsetting. Just like how the one that had the CDL, he did not have a CDL and had caused a massive accident, and I think this was in Springfield. Yes, and he had killed a kid and a mother.
Okay, and then you're just going straight back to the stereotype, attempting to say that a whole group of people is like this. If one member of said group, one moment, if one member of said group does something wrong, there was an undocumented immigrant that was driving a big old truck in Florida that had gotten into a bad accident and killed people. That is bad, okay? Anybody that drives a truck without a license, especially a CDL, and driving a professional big rig, right? That should be a crime that should give them jail time, okay? Nobody's contesting that. What I'm contesting is you using this isolated event to then turn around and demonize all undocumented immigrants. I have a question. Why don't you do this for white men? Okay, I could start going on and on about white men committing mass shootings, such as the Uvalde school shooting in Texas, or the shooting the same day as Charlie Kirk's assassination at Evergreen High School in Colorado, in Denver, by the way, that was committed by a 17-year-old white man. Do you think that because I could point out these isolated instances of white men committing mass acts of terror and gun violence, that therefore we need to demonize all white men just like you are demonizing undocumented immigrants, but to a higher extent as the average American white man is 2.5 times more likely to commit a violent crime, and thereby at the bare minimum at least suggesting that we shouldn't have a white man run the country, just like you're suggesting that therefore we shouldn't have these undocumented immigrants in the country at all?
I wasn't trying to make an absolute, and I see where you're coming from, and I'm sorry that it sounded like an absolute, because I know that white men too are big time pew-pew and all that as well. But it just seems like I match up more with Trump's views rather than Kamala and Biden's.
Okay, well, you didn't really respond to my point there. But maybe a question that I can ask you about something else that you've said a lot about Harris and Biden is that they opened the border. So how did the Biden-Harris administration open the border?
They let the walls down and let more people illegal come in more than ever.
What do you mean they let the walls down? Is that like a rhetorical statement or a literal statement?
More rhetorical. Okay. Sorry, I'm really nervous. I'm stuttering.
Then what do you mean by that? What is this metaphorical statement of saying they let the walls down mean?
And they were more opening to just letting everyone in without even needing documentation.
Okay, and how do you know that they're more open to just letting everyone in? Like, did they pass a policy to open the borders? Did they sign an executive order into law to open the borders? Did he give a presidential memorandum to suggest that we should open the borders? Like, what does this mean? Like, what is the real action of the Biden-Harris administration that let more people in?
I thought that, in my understanding, it was just that they made it more easy and basically letting undocumented, as in just not keeping security up to date.
Okay, well, they actually funded ICE and CBPP more every single year under their administration, and funded it more every single year than Trump in his first term. Right, so I'm going to have to ask you to be super clear about what actions the Biden-Harris administration engaged in to be more open with the southern border, because it doesn't really sound like you can pinpoint them. And what your argument more so sounds like is because we had higher levels of crossing into this country over the southern border under the Biden-Harris administration, therefore you're automatically going to blame that on them.
I'm just going to be straight up. I need more information on it because I obviously don't have all the info, and it's very misunderstood for me, obviously. And so in my eyes, and everyone, not just everyone else saying this to me, just what I've seen on the news, and obviously the news is propaganda as well, but from my standpoint, it just looks like that they're letting everyone that's undocumented in. And
well, what you saw was higher levels of undocumented crossings, but that wasn't caused by them. That was caused by the expiration of Title 42 and the pandemic destroying the socioeconomic conditions of a lot of countries south of America, right? But this doesn't mean that it was the Biden-Harris administration's fault. This means that it was a compounding result of the lack of action from the American government in modern American history to make the legal means of entry into this country more attainable, faster, and less expensive, and then that all coming to a grinding halt when we implemented Title 42, which stopped all immigration during the pandemic, which then led to backlogged legal means of entry into the country, and then with its expiration led to those same legal means being even more unattainable because of the backlog in the lines to get in. And then we had Donald Trump just telling everyone that the border was wide open and they could just come right on in under the Biden-Harris administration. And I believe that is what caused the issue. And I also don't really think that Donald Trump has taken any proactive steps to actually fix anything in his second administration. Can you name one good policy that Donald Trump has passed in the last 8 months to attempt to effectively reduce undocumented entry through good policy?
So why I had voted for Trump was more of for his no taxing over time and more of the economy stuff, not exactly the immigration. I will just be totally honest about that, just because I've worked I've worked so much for my stuff, and so that was why I voted for him. But on to the immigration stuff, I didn't really vote for him for that one.
Okay, yeah, we'll go over the economic policy. Let me just thank one person here, Danielle. Thank you so much for the $50 donation over on PayPal. I'm trying to keep my cool because I busted my lip and it really hurts to smile. But Danielle, that is so kind of you. It is so good to see you again. You are here every day. I have so much love for you. The community has so much love for you. Seriously, thank you so much for the $50 donation on PayPal. That is insane, Danielle. If everyone watching can please show some love to Danielle down below in the comment section. It would mean the world to me. Danielle says, thank you for making sense and for fighting for good. Thank you so much for your kindness. Let's seriously get 500 Danielle W's. Thank you so much. As well as Erica with a $15 over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Erica. Erica says, damn, sounds like whenever this such-and-so needs the National Guard called in, save such-and-so from the radical liberal left extremist illegals. Appreciate you for the $15, Erica. And then Alexa, thank you for the $5 as well on Venmo. Thank you so much. Now, to go back to you, you told me that you support
Am I yelling, by the way? I didn't know if I was yelling. They're saying that I'm crashing out and that I'm yelling. I'm so sorry if that is the case.
You're probably talking about me. I'm crashing out internally. I'm just not showing it to you.
I'm so nervous and I'm so sorry.
Now to go back to the position. Well, in the last 8 months, the economy has gotten worse, dramatically worse. So if you voted for Trump to make the economy better and it's only gotten worse in the last 8 months, where does that leave you today?
Yeah, I am not gonna lie. That's why I was saying I have been leaning more towards the middle recently, just because I have not seen that not taxing overtime or anything of that. If anything, I've just been seeing my milk go up.
Right. So the price of every single good sold in the grocery store is more expensive today than it was 8 months ago. Donald Trump did pass a deduction on tax and overtime and tips for the next 2 years under the Big Beautiful Bill. However, according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, that bill is actually reducing the purchasing power of over 150 million Americans, and it's kicking 10 million people off of health insurance and 3 million people off of food stamps. And I would say if you support that bill, you're not a good person.
Oh, that's kind of crazy because I'm on Medicaid myself, so I didn't think that was happening. No, because everyone that I know too has been telling me no.
Did you know that your premiums are expected to go up by 75% according to the CBO? If you're not one of the 10 million people that's going to lose coverage, your premiums are expected to skyrocket because he's defunding it by $900 billion. So if Medicaid wants to continue to run, they're going to have to put more of that burden for payment on the person that's receiving Medicaid by increasing your premiums.
Oh, I actually did not know that. I will admit. But I'm glad you are educating me. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Any other reasons why you support Trump as president?
I also do support him because of the Second Amendment and also because of abortions as well. So,
let's talk about both those things. He doesn't support the Second Amendment. In his first term, he passed gun control that violated 2A. And now in his second term, he's directed the Justice Department to try to find a way to ban gun ownership for trans Americans, which even the NRA, which is a far-right gun organization, has publicly spoken out against, calling it a massive infringement upon the Second Amendment.
I do see that obviously is a conflict.
It's not a conflict, it's an infringement.
I do see that, but I still see that he's not taking away all gun ownership, if that makes sense.
So you only care about infringing on the Second Amendment if it's taking all gun ownership away from everyone. So therefore, you don't think that Kamala Harris would have infringed upon the Second Amendment, and she'd be in a very similar category as Trump, as being unconcerned from your perspective, as neither of them wanted to take away all gun ownership from every American. But what I will say is that this is a bad way of thinking, even though I could use your way of thinking against you, because you should still care about him trying to take away all gun ownership away from some people.
Yes, I do see a huge problem with that, and I don't think that's okay at all. Okay, honestly, you are turning me, I'm not going to lie, just because I didn't know a lot of this, as in like the immigration you were talking about, and now the NRA speaking out about that as well.
Yeah, we can talk about that last thing, abortion.
The abortion, yeah. I will support. I think that life is at conception, no matter what. Science literally says that.
Yeah, science literally does say that life begins at the moment of conception, but that's a scientific fact, not like a moral argument for why you think abortion should be banned. Now, I will ask you to clarify on your view. Do you think that abortion should be banned in all circumstances, or do you hold to exceptions such as rape, life of the mother, or incest?
I already know I'm going to get lots of hate. I'm a Christian, so that's my belief in that I think that all abortion should be banned.
That is not a Christian belief. That is, if I had to classify it as a certain set of beliefs, I would say is a very evil, satanic belief. If Christianity were to be true.
How does two wrongs don't make a right?
Okay, well, in that statement, you pre-assumed that it would be wrong for a victim of rape to abort a fetus, and I think I have a very compelling argument that it isn't, even if we assume that Christianity is true.
How is that?
Yeah, because you could assume that that fetus is a human, a person, and just as valuable as I am, as you are. You could assume that that fetus has the right to life, but we can still justify allowing victims of rape to access abortion because guess what? They didn't cause the set of circumstances to be pregnant. They were forced into sex. They were forced into pregnancy. And because they were forced into all of those things, why should they also be forced into supplying their bodily resources to the fetus to keep it alive for 9 months against their will without their consent, okay? For these reasons, I think that there is absolutely no obligation that a victim of rape could ever conceivably have to be perpetually forced into providing their bodily resources to keep the fetus alive. Even if you assume that fetus is valuable, we can still acknowledge that that victim of rape is under no obligation to give that fetus resources to keep it alive, the same way I bet you as a Christian think that all humans alive on this earth are valuable, including homeless Americans that are starving, yet as it goes, because you're on the right, and the right has never passed any policy that only helped low-income Americans starving to death. In fact, they are the ones perpetually defunding those systems. You are under no obligation to provide your resources and your tax dollars to keep them alive.
My problem is that we are funding these people that are using it as birth control. They just more, like, the statistics literally say how these girls are going months up into third trimesters and having abortions. That is murder.
Okay, well, if a third trimester abortion is murder, then you're implying that it's not murder in the first trimester and the second trimester. And no, victims of rape are not using abortions as birth control. Victims of rape are using abortions as one of the most important and imperative forms of healthcare available on this planet for them in their circumstances. And I would really appreciate it if you would respond to the argument that I gave you to demonstrate that even if we assume that the life of the fetus is just as morally valuable as you or I, we can still justify victims of rape having access to abortion by acknowledging they have no obligation to provide their bodily resources to the fetus to keep it alive. That is what I would like you to respond to. And as soon as we can finish our conversation on the topic of victims of rape accessing abortion, then we can move on to the 97% of abortions that are elective.
Okay, I just don't think I think that abortion is wrong no matter what, and even if so, I know I'm gonna get hate for this. I still don't think that it's okay to terminate it. It's still a person as well. It's their body as well. Just because they can't speak and own up to their things, you're gonna just choose to abort it? It makes no sense.
Can I ask you to do something?
Yes.
Can I ask you to try to follow my argument? I think the big problem that we find ourselves in right now is that I gave you an argument how we could justify great victims having access to abortion, even if we assume that fetus is valuable and is its own person, and you didn't even acknowledge or respond to that argument. Would you like me to repeat it?
Yes.
What obligation, I'm going to start with the question before we get into the argument. What obligations do victims of rape have to provide their bodily resources to keep the fetus alive?
None. They have no obligation, and it's not their job as well. And
okay, if they don't have an obligation to provide the fetus their bodily resources, then they'd be doing nothing wrong by stopping the supply of their bodily resources to the fetus. And stopping the supply of their bodily resources to the fetus is precisely what the abortion pill does. Are you now telling me that you do think it is okay and morally permissible for victims of rape to access the abortion pill?
In my view, I don't think that's okay.
So then they do have an obligation to continue to provide their bodily resources to the fetus, or else it would not be not okay for them to stop supplying their bodily resources to the fetus. So what is that obligation, and why do they have it?
Okay. I guess for rape, they should have the choice. It's not my body, it's theirs. I should not whatever rape, but when it comes to other people and they're just doing it for fun and whatnot, then that's when I have a problem.
We've taken a step in a positive direction.
Yes.
Now we need to go over one other small but imperative situation of the life of the mother. So you think if the mother's going to lose her life if she gives birth, she should still be forced to give birth, and you do not think that an abortion should be on the table for her?
Well, usually you don't know the circumstances anyways. You don't know that before sometimes.
Yeah, you do when you have a doctor inform you that you have a cryptic pregnancy that's going to kill you if you give birth.
I think in that case, but like I said before, too wrong. Like, it doesn't make it right.
I think it does. I think it makes it right. I do, because I value the life of a woman much more than that of a fetus. Even if we assume that a fetus has the right to life, can we still acknowledge that, like, we're going to care for the woman more than the fetus? Like, and if it's like one or the other, we should choose the woman.
They're both still a person, they're both still alive.
What if they're both going to die? A woman's going to die in childbirth, the fetus is going to die too. Should that woman be able to access abortion?
Well, then in that case, I guess it doesn't matter, does it?
And then what about if the woman's going to die in childbirth, but the fetus would live? Do you think that she should be legally obligated to die?
I guess that's her choice.
Okay, all right. So I'm happy that you're conceding on these concessions because they're important. So now you think that victims of rape and women with their lives on the line should be able to access abortion. So now we can move on to the 97% of elective abortions. Why do you think that elective abortion should be banned?
They should be banned because I've seen how we literally, it's by state, I know, and there's people that are going up to the 3rd trimester and using this as just like birth control. I've literally seen it from people at my college just going and let me just go get an abortion just because, OMG, I slept around. I'm so scared to have this baby because I'm so immature.
I don't believe that you've ever seen a woman get an elective lethal abortion in the 3rd trimester. What state do you live in?
I live in Colorado. It's up to...
Yeah, so I live in Colorado too. I forgot that you told us that.
Yeah.
Did you know in Colorado, elective lethal abortions are banned after around 20 weeks? So you've never seen a single person. You've never seen... 4 months is 16 weeks. So, I mean, not true, but I mean...
That's still terrible. What?
That's not the 3rd trimester.
Worse. Okay. It's still alive, and that makes it even worse.
Where do you go to school, by the way? Do you go to, like...
I don't want to say that because I don't want to get...
Okay, yeah, no worries. I'd assume that you go to, like, DU or
Sorry.
Like, Colorado University of Denver, one of the two, I'd assume.
Yeah, I do go to CU.
You put a bad look on CU. Let me tell you. See, I went to CU Boulder. Okay.
Yeah, I do too.
You go to Boulder?
Yeah.
I thought that you said that you lived in Aurora. Aurora is over an hour away from Boulder.
Yeah. I transferred.
But
I went to CU Denver for the last 2 years. I'm a junior now, and now I go to CU Boulder.
Okay, whatever. Okay, moving on. So what's the argument why elective abortion should be banned?
I'm sorry, I got a call. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, what's the argument insofar as why elective abortion should be banned?
They should be banned because that's a fetus that's alive, and just because you made the mistake of sleeping around, there's so many different types of contraceptives that you have to avoid that.
Okay. So if you use all those contraceptives and pregnancy still occurs, should that woman be able to access abortion?
Like, no. That's her fault
Okay.
still for sleeping around.
So then you're telling me that it has absolutely nothing to do with the use or lack of use of contraceptives, and that's just a rhetorical device that you're using to attempt to demonize the women that are wanting to access the abortion.
Not in that way. I just think it's wrong that you think it's okay to just sleep with whoever and not face the consequences of your actions.
Okay, is there any...
And then
okay.
think that you can just end that.
So let's go through the reasons. So the first reason why you think that elective abortions are wrong is because it's wrong to think that you could sleep around and not face the consequences of your actions. Do you have any other reasons why these abortions are wrong?
No, because the kid is still there and it's alive. You're killing something just because you regret your decision. You don't want to face the consequences of your actions.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go and give you two arguments against this. So if I, smoke cigarettes all my life and I get lung cancer, that would be a natural consequence of my action. Should I still yet be able to go to the hospital, talk to a doctor to terminate the life of that lung cancer?
Yes.
Okay, well, then you're okay with people terminating the natural consequences of their actions.
But those are two different examples so far along.
Would you say that the reason that they're different examples
and a
is
person
because...
inside of you, other one.
Okay, so would you say that you lagged out there. Would you say that the big difference between killing the lung cancer and killing the fetus is that you think the fetus's life is valuable and you don't think the life of the lung cancer is valuable?
Okay, no, that's not what I meant. But
why? Well, I think that's fair to say. Like, I would expect you to say that. Like, that would be like the obvious.
You can't kill the lung cancer. You're not killing the lung cancer. You're still going to have lung cancer. You did that to yourself. And then as in for the fetus, like, what? That just makes no sense.
I think I actually gave you a pretty good response to what I said, because I brought up the lung cancer analogy, how it's like you think it's okay to terminate the natural consequences of your actions.
They're still not terminating the lung cancer.
Yeah, you're killing the lung cancer. That's right.
You're going to go get help, but you can't really terminate it.
Yeah,
you don't
can.
know if that's going to help or not.
You can kill cancer. That's what doctors do.
You can, but you can still have a chance of dying from that.
So you could have a chance of it not being 100% successful. That doesn't change the fact that if you are successful, you're killing the cancer.
Yes, but in that,
I don't know why
that person is already grown, making their own decisions and whatnot, so then they're killing themselves at that point. While as the other person is doing that to another human being.
Okay. Well, I mean, weird semantic phrasing saying that it's not killing the cancer, it's killing yourself. That's like saying, like when I scrape my skin, I'm killing myself. Like, I guess I can't say that on TikTok. The stream's going to get banned now. The stream's going to get banned, everyone. When we do get banned, just come back after the restart because we'll probably need to do one. I just realized what I said on TikTok Live. That's a no-no for the TOS. But I don't know. Weird semantic phrasing. I'm going to ignore it because that's not what the argument should hinge on. Because obviously the difference that you're describing here is that you think that, well, it's different when you're killing the fetus because the fetus is its own valuable, unique life. So here's what I'll ask you. Why do you think the life of the fetus is morally valuable?
Because it's not your body and it's their choice, but they just can't speak about it.
Okay, so you're saying that it's valuable because it's not your body.
Someone.
Okay, but that's not a good argument because a chicken's not your body, but yet you don't think that a chicken is valuable enough to justify giving it the right to life, meaning it's murder if you kill the chicken because you eat meat. Right? So, no, that's not an argument. You cannot say that, well, the life of the fetus is valuable because it's not the body of the woman. Okay? You're going to have some other reasons. Why is the life of the fetus valuable?
Because it's murder.
Okay, what define murder?
As in ending another human being's.
That's not how we define murder. Self-defense murder? No, because it's justified. Murder is not just killing a human, it is unjustly killing a human. So if you want to say that it's wrong because it's murder, you're self-supposing that it's unjustified. You're saying it's wrong because it's wrong.
The fetus is innocent and did nothing wrong, and so terminating it would be unjust murder. That is
so when you say innocent, what do you mean?
It's done nothing.
Done nothing wrong?
Yes.
Okay, guess what? When we say wrong, when we're saying something is doing something wrong, we're saying that an agent decided to engage in an action in which was morally incorrect, right?
Right.
Okay. Can cows, chickens, and pigs engage in actions in which are morally incorrect? No, because they're not moral agents, meaning that under your definition of innocence, cows, chickens, and pigs are innocent, meaning that you would say it is murder to kill a cow, chicken, or pig because they're innocent, and this would be a reflection of your argument, yet you don't think that, meaning this would be an internal contradiction in your view.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
The way that you define innocent would also define cows, chickens, and pigs as innocent. And you're using the fact that you're calling the fetus innocent to define it as murder when you kill the fetus, meaning that if you are to stay consistent in your principles, it would also be murder to kill an innocent cow, chicken, or pig, yet you don't think that. Simply being a biological entity that has apparently done nothing morally wrong is not enough to deserve the right to life.
I do think it would still be considered murder if you killed a chicken or something like that, and an animal. That still is murder. Okay. Yeah.
So should it be illegal to kill a chicken?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, well then you're saying you classify it as murder to kill a chicken, but should it be illegal to kill a chicken? Therefore, wouldn't the reflected position of this view on abortion be that you classify it as murder to kill a fetus, but yet you don't think it should be illegal to kill a fetus, meaning you're legally pro-choice?
I am not so I guess I am pro-choice if I'm saying that if rapists want their own decisions, that's pro-choice, isn't it?
I don't even know what you just said. You said something about rapists wanting their own decisions. That was just so incoherent. I'm just going to choose to ignore it.
I'm saying that rapist victims, that's pro-choice if I want them to have their own choice of whether or not.
Ma'am, I thought that we were talking about elective abortions this whole time. You told me the reason why you think an elective abortion should be illegal is because you think that it's murder to kill the fetus, and then you said it's murder to kill the fetus because the fetus is a biological life form that's innocent. That I countered that view by saying, well, so are chickens.
Saying,
you think it's murder to kill a chicken, but then you said it shouldn't be illegal to murder a chicken. If it shouldn't be illegal to quote-unquote murder a chicken, then why should it be illegal to quote-unquote murder a fetus?
Okay, well, I meant murder a human being. That's what I meant. Okay,
so now we finally reduced your view down to saying that you think that the life of that fetus is valuable because it's a human being.
Human being.
There we go. So do you think it is murder and should be illegal to pull the plug on a brain dead patient in the hospital?
Well, in that case, it's up to the person who,
Even though
the
they're
person is
innocent human
culpable.
beings?
Yes.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be
Okay, so
considered murder?
it should, oh, wait.
That would.
So you think it is murder and should be illegal to pull the plug on a brain dead patient in the hospital?
I mean, that one's a hard one.
It shouldn't be any harder than abortion, because guess what? Both the brain dead patient and the fetus are quote unquote innocent human beings.
That's what I'm saying. That one's hard because they're both innocent. So then shouldn't they both live? So yeah.
Oh God! So you think that we should criminalize pulling the plug on brain dead patients in the hospital? And if you do pull the plug on a
That's
brain dead
where I
patient in
was-
the hospital, you're a murderer?
That's where I was gonna say. That's the part.
Do you agree with that? Should we or should we not?
I do not think we should criminalize that.
Okay, and you already admitted that it's the same as killing a fetus, therefore we shouldn't criminalize killing a fetus either. Meaning, you're pro-choice.
I guess I am. Oh. That's. Oh. Oh. Well, I guess I'm part of the middle then. I guess at this point.
I'm gonna go and assume that you don't really talk.
Ignorant.
I'm gonna go and assume that you don't really talk about these things to your friends at Boulder.
You think people in Boulder talk about that here?
I know that like 99% of people that go to Boulder disagree with you.
Oh, I'm saying that they're not going to speak up about anything like that when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, is there
No one
anything,
talks about these things and all that.
is there anything else that you'd like to go over today?
Honestly, can I just get more knowledge and education from you if that's okay, real quick, before I leave?
On what specific topic?
I just want more clarity on the immigration and border law, like what's going on there. Like, because I really thought that they just were okay with letting them all in.
Yeah, so here's what I'd recommend you research. I would recommend you research any policy that the Biden-Harris administration passed to attempt to open the borders. You will inevitably come up open-handed. And then I want you to research the bipartisan border bill drafted by Lankford that was pushed in Congress by the Biden-Harris administration that would have limited undocumented border crossings that Donald Trump ultimately torpedoed. You could also go to either my Instagram or my TikTok on my main account at It's Dean and scroll down and find a 5.5-minute video of me going over immigration. It's going to be a while down my feed, but it's me wearing like a long sleeve like purple polo. And it's 5.5 minutes long. It goes over my thoughts on why I think that Trump's mass deportation is bad. So if you're looking for more education, those are the resources that I direct you to, alongside other like creators on the app and institutions of research, so on and so forth.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you have a good rest of your day, and I really hope that you inevitably
You too.
change a lot of these views that you hold. Have a good one. We're going to move on to the next guest. Hop in that queue if you support Trump. That's crazy. Yeah, she went to the same school that I did. CU Boulder. Nice school, but let me tell you, it is a rarity to find someone thinking the way she thinks from Boulder. It is one of the most liberal campuses in America. As well as Janet, thank you so much for another $20 over on Super Chat. Janet, that is so fucking kind of you. Thank you so much. And welcome in. What's going on, new guest? Do you support Trump?
Yo, what's up, Dean?
Hey, what's up? Are you
Yeah, I
Maga?
do support Trump. Yeah, I do.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 19. Or actually 20, my bad. 11/11/2004. You can check my account, check everything, bro.
Okay. Before we hop into the debate, let me thank a couple people. Blake, thank you for the $10 donation over on Venmo. That is very kind of you, Blake. It is so good to see you. Blake just says Dean hi. What's going on, Blake? As well as by Axelot. Thank you for the $15 over on Venmo. Thank you so much. By Axelot says, once again, why do these pro-birth folks advocate for laws to force women to give birth and still claim to defend women? It makes no goddamn sense to me. Appreciate you for the love. As well as Haley with a $5, Sid with a $3, and Jessica with $5. I appreciate you guys for the love. As well as Janice, thank you so much for the $25 donation over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, Janice. Janice says, keep it up, kiddo. Dude, I will never give it up. Thank you so much for your kindness. Let's get 250 Janice W's. And then Ellen, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. Saying thank you, Dean. And I'll make sure to read the rest of that to myself. Thank you, Ellen. Show some love to Janice and Ellen. And then we have one more donation to read off before we hop into the next debate. Holy cow. Okay. Anne, I'm sorry. I can't smile because I have a cut in my lip that really hurts when I smile. Ow, fuck. Fuck, that hurt. Anne, thank you so much for the $150 donation over on PayPal. That is absolutely outrageous. Thank you so much for your kindness. That is fucking crazy. Thank you so much, Anne. That is so incredibly generous of you. I really appreciate you for your generosity and love. That is egregious. That is so much money. Thank you for the $150 donation. Please show some love to Anne down below. That is ANNE. Thank you so much for your kindness. Anne says, I am a foreign diplomat, actually an ambassador, and keeping our cool these days is a bit of a challenge. I believe if we had more people like you, the world would be a better place. Keep up the amazing work. From Anne. Well, Anne, I really appreciate you for what you do, being a foreign diplomat, being an ambassador. That is like so cool and also very necessary to maintain global relations between countries. And I think that you're a fucking queen. Okay, that is actually like really cool. I would love to sit down with you and just chat about what the hell you do. That's just such an interesting thing to do. But I do really appreciate you for the $150 donation. That is so much money, and I really appreciate you for your generosity. Let's get 1,000 ANWs down below in that chat while we pass the mic off to our new guest to tell us why they support Trump. Thank you so much, Anne.
All right, are you ready for my question? I kind of have a question for you. It's actually about a woman who was in Congress who was killed, Melissa Hortman.
Yeah, Melissa Hortman. R.I.P. Melissa Hortman. And
yes, of course. That's very, very tragic for her family. Yes, that's extremely tragic. I really wish nobody to go through that. That works in our Congress. But I wanted to make it clear to you, a couple of days before she was killed, the actual last vote that she had as her job in Congress, she voted against giving illegal immigrants health care. She was the only Democrat that voted against that bill. And then a couple of days later, she was brutally killed.
Okay. Like, why are you telling this to me? But she was killed by a white Trump-supporting citizen, by the way.
Of course, that's what they make you think.
No, that's who
he's a Trump-supporting citizen. Why would a Republican kill somebody who voted against giving illegal immigrants health care? That doesn't make any sense.
If I'm going to be honest, the deranged lunatic that murdered her and her family probably didn't even know about that vote.
That doesn't make any sense. Of course, every Republican is going to know about the vote. You think that somebody just randomly
goes
up and targets Melissa Hortman and kills her?
For every single MAGA Republican that is watching this live right now, did you all know that Melissa Hortman voted against a bill to give undocumented immigrants health care 2 days before she was brutally murdered?
I mean, if I'm going to vote against having illegals not in our country, people that are undocumented and that break the law by entering...
I'm actually not asking that question to you. Hey, I actually really appreciate all the MAGA Republicans being good faith and answering no to that question in the chat. That's very kind of you guys. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, man, your argument is so bad that even the people that despise me, for the most part, that are watching this live that support Trump, are now siding with me over you. That's how bad your argument is. And by the way, the person that murdered her and her family, he had a hit list. He had a hit list of multiple Democratic representatives. And the relation between these Democratic representatives wasn't a vote for or against giving immigrants health care. It was because of their party affiliation, and he was a deranged alt-right lunatic that wanted to end the lives of those that he politically disagreed with. Feel free to unmute.
I mean, I'm just trying to open your mind about it. You seem to have a fixated, kind of news report kind of response to it. You just listen to whatever the news tells you.
No,
you don't kind of look around.
Those are the facts of the case. I listen to the facts, sir. I
mean, they're going to give you facts that might not be the actual facts.
Okay, and now you're just going into QAnon conspiracy theory. You're deranged.
I'm not deranged, bro. I mean, I'm just awoke. I see things and I see patterns. Somebody just doesn't go kill a woman who votes against a bill, who is the only woman who voted against the bill, by the way. And you say he just has a hit list of all these people he wants to kill. It's just made up evidence to
the fact of the matter. Do you even know what his name was? Who was the shooter's name? What was his name?
No, I don't know his name.
You don't even know his name, but you know more than the police do about his political affiliation. All right, buddy, get the hell out of here.
I don't care about what his name was, dude.
Yeah, well, I'm just demonstrating the point to you that you don't even know his name.
I have many other things.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you don't even know his name, but you know more than Trump's FBI about his political affiliation.
I sit here and listen to you talk about Eugene Carroll, about how Trump's character is so bad too.
We're not going to
Okay,
pivot.
sorry.
We're not going to pivot yet. Respond
no,
to that point.
I'm-
You told me that you don't even know his name, but you know more than Trump's FBI and
I'm
his
not going
political
to tell you his
affiliation.
name. I don't know more than Trump's FBI. I'm literally sitting on the toilet, dude.
Okay, well, that's weird to be sitting on a toilet on live, and that's also kind of my point. You're telling me that you don't know much about this, and that obviously Trump's FBI is going to know more about this than you. Well, Trump's FBI said
just told
that he
you
was an
all I know
outspoken
about that.
evangelical Christian, alt-right MAGA Trump supporter who had a hit list of different Democratic representatives, and his roommate said that he was very mentally unstable and really needed help. And he fucking went nuts one day and went out and killed Melissa Hortman and her husband.
Okay. Whatever you say, bro.
That's
Can we
not
talk
what
about
I say. That's what the
Eugene
FBI says. That's what the police say.
Okay. All right, we can settle that. Now, let me talk about Eugene Carroll and why her civil lawsuit was fake.
Well, actually, I would appreciate you just telling us why you support Trump.
Oh, I mean, I support Trump because I love the country. I love the way that the country's going with him.
He doesn't love the country. And you said that you love the country in the way that
How does he not love the country?
Yeah, because he doesn't care about core American values such as the Constitution. There's no way that an American patriot would be infringing upon every aspect of the First Amendment, calling for a termination of the Second Amendment, attempting to illegally revise the 14th Amendment, and saying he wants to violate the 22nd Amendment when it benefits him in the future.
All right, you just go straight down 100 miles an hour into a rabbit hole. Let's focus on one thing.
Okay, well, I mean, I said four things. First Amendment, Second Amendment, 14th Amendment, 22nd Amendment. I thought that was clear, but if you want to focus on one of those, just name which one.
I would like to focus on the civil lawsuit that I think is completely fake that was brought to him against by a adult filmmaker that 20 years ago that this stuff happens. And let's compare that to someone like Larry Nassar, for example, who was sexually exploiting Olympic girls, and they came out about that. I'm not sure how long after they were tortured by him they came out about that stuff. It was maybe a year or two. But Eugene Carroll gets tortured by Donald Trump, this billionaire man that she knows that she can get millions of dollars from if she just came out and said that she was raped by him. But no, this happens 20 years later when he's now in office. Oh yeah, that just makes total sense.
Okay. Well, I don't really think that anything makes sense to you because you've already now conceded the argument why you think Trump is a good president. I absolutely fucking destroyed your position of saying that he cares about America by pointing out that he's a wannabe authoritarian that doesn't care about America nor core American values such as the Constitution. And then you said, Dean, I'm scared of you and your ability to effectively combat my position. So now I'm going to pivot to Eugene Carroll and I'm going to go ahead and now combat that position as well. First of all, you said her name was Eugene. No, that's wrong. It's Eugene. Second of all, you said that she was a corn star. You're actually thinking about Stormy Daniels, who was the corn star Donald Trump had cheated on his wife with prior to the 2016 election, and then sent hush money to illegally, which led to him being found guilty of 34 felonies in a different criminal court at a different time with a different judge and a different jury. You're confusing the court cases. And third of all, you're saying that, well, because other women didn't wait or only waited a year, that therefore when Eugene Carroll waits 20 years, it's meaningless, and that's obviously something that makes her the false accuser that's lying. Well, in response to that, let's remember that over 60% of women that are raped never reported to the authorities in their lifetime. So if we want to go off the average of what women do in response to sexual violence, then she actually falls well within the average as she waited 20 years instead of never reporting it at all. And third of all, the reason why so many women wait to report rape is because of the reaction they get from society and the people in it, such as you. You are unknowingly perpetuating the system that caused Eugene Carroll to wait so long by disputing her character, by disputing who she is as a person, and attempting to paint the victim out as the villain after they were raped, which is the harm that is onset to women that are raped when they come out about it, causing hesitancy or long waits, even in the time span of years.
That makes zero sense. If a woman was raped, I would want to know about it to give justice to the woman immediately. That's why every woman should come forward almost immediately after it happened. Or actually, I mean, I understand that they can't come forward immediately after it happens. I understand they have to sit with that, and it's extremely hurtful, and I wish that to no woman. But
Okay. Yeah.
They have to come
If you want
clean,
women,
it shouldn't take them 20 years, man. It shouldn't take them 20 years.
If you want women to come out sooner after they're raped, then eliminate the reason why so many women wait to come out about grape, and you could eliminate that reason of grape culture or harm caused onto women that do wait. And a good first step in that direction would be you not demonizing a woman that accused a man of grape and then had him found guilty by unanimous jury of 9 in a civil court of law.
I mean, I'm not dehumanizing the woman. I'm just questioning why it takes her 20 years to come out about something that happened to her.
And you're not questioning the evidence that led the jury to find Trump guilty, meaning that you don't care about the facts. You just care about criticizing women, even if the woman was a victim of rape.
Well, he was found guilty in a civil court, so that's not a federal court. So it's really technically not a real crime. He's not behind bars from it. So there has to be some sort of.
Did you just say federal? Did you just say federal court?
I mean,
what the fuck is a federal court? You have no clue what you're talking about. How am I supposed to take you seriously?
He didn't go to prison.
Do you mean a criminal court?
Yeah, criminal court of law.
So what is the difference between a criminal court and a civil court that makes you believe criminal courts but not believe civil courts?
Civil courts don't result in criminal, offenses. He doesn't go to jail for it.
Right, because he pays a fine for it. He had to pay her $87 million.
Why couldn't she take him to criminal court for it?
Okay, well, I'll answer your question. Just keep in mind that this is a shift of the goalpost and a pivot, but I'm good at debating, so I can manage that. She couldn't take it to criminal court because the statute of limitations had run up for her to take a charge of grape.
Because she waited 20 years, correct?
New York. No, it's because the state of New York has a statute of limitations of grape in the first place. So now not only are you blaming the victim of grape for waiting 20 years to report grape in a system that will criticize and condemn her for reporting grape, and it did, by the way. You're an example on top of the fact that she lost her job because of it. But now you're also blaming the victim for not being able to bring forth the fact that she was raped to a criminal court in New York, instead of penalizing and attempting to blame and critique the justice system in the state of New York in the first place for even having a statute of limitations on grape. You're all about blaming the woman in every single circumstance. Oh, when a man grapes a woman, it's a woman's fault. When a woman waits 20 years to come out about it, it's a woman's fault. When a woman then can't take it to criminal court because the shitty justice system of New York doesn't let you take rape to criminal court if it happened 20 years ago, it is not the court's fault. It's the woman's fault. You hate women. You hate women. You're misogynistic.
Isn't New York a democratic city?
Yeah, it is. And that is a democratic criminal justice system that I will critique the hell out of for having a statute of limitations on grape, because unlike you, I'm not a party loyalist that lets my moral principles fall at the party lines.
Well, have you checked out the statutes of a maybe more conservative state with civil court that probably doesn't have those limitations that New York does?
I mean, I've checked out the statutes of the conservative FBI and DOJ on the federal level right now that are calling it an act of hostility to even talk or vote for the release of the Epstein files inside of the American Congress.
So now you're pivoting.
So if you want to say that conservatives are really good at running an effective criminal justice system to keep women and girls safe, I would highly question the foundation of your claim altogether.
I mean, nice pivot, dude. You know that Bill Clinton was friends with Epstein too, right?
Yeah, and guess what? If Bill Clinton did bad shit with Epstein, which we actually have reason to do because one of the victims of Epstein said that Bill Clinton went to Africa with her and Epstein, well, guess what? Bill is an absolute POS that deserves to be locked up for the rest of his life. Can you say the same thing about Trump?
I'm not sure that Trump was friends with Epstein once Epstein Island was evaluated.
Exactly. You can't say the same thing about Trump. So do you see there how you self-imposed...
I haven't seen the facts.
Do you see there how you self-imposed your view? You pre-assumed your position that you don't care if your guy's a pedophile because as long as he's on your side of the aisle, you're going to agree with him no matter what. You self-imposed that pre-assumption onto me, but do you see how it just totally backfired in your fucking face?
I mean, not really, bro. I mean, I would completely agree with you about Trump's character and how bad he is as a person if he actually is in handcuffs being brought to jail.
Wait, is Bill Clinton in handcuffs?
No, he's not.
So then why did you criticize Bill?
I don't know. Just 'cause I don't like him.
Exactly. So once again, just another standard of indifference towards harm on your own side of the aisle when you possess the rational faculty.
I mean, he did drugs in the White House.
Somebody could be doing drugs. Oh, you don't see Donald Trump doing DRUGS. Hey, I have a question. What's worse, doing DRUGS or sexually exploiting kids like what Donald Trump admitted to in the Howard Stern podcast in 2005 when he said that he liked to walk backstage into women's only spaces unconsensually before the shows at Miss Teen USA and Miss Universe to look at the naked women while they are undressed? Which one's worse?
All right, at least those women were of age. Biden took showers with his daughter and couldn't wait to have shower time with his daughter.
Okay, once again, another, but let's look at the guy on your side of the aisle so I can completely ignore, pivot, and deflect away from talking
women
about
of
Trump.
age.
But I'll happily respond to that as well, and then I'll go back to my claims about Trump because you have me spread very thin. Let's go over it. What reason do you have to believe that Biden had showered with his underage daughter?
Per his own daughter's response.
What
it's like free to
response,
look
right?
up. Go look it up.
Well, I don't trust me. I already have. I know everything there is to know about the claim that Biden had showered with his daughter. I'm just seeing if you do because you're the one making a claim that you believe Biden showered with his daughter, but you do not believe that Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll, even though you know Donald Trump was found guilty of the rape of E. Jean Carroll in a civil court of law, and your response was, well, he's not being prosecuted criminally and he's not in jail, therefore you don't believe it, even though obviously this never went to court for Biden. He's not being prosecuted criminally and he's not in jail. So I'm trying to determine what standard of evidence you uphold here to reasonably conclude that Trump is innocent but Biden's guilty by asking you the question, how do you know that Biden did this?
That Ashley Biden wrote that in her own diary that she was afraid to shower with her father.
Boom, the Ashley Biden diary. Let me go in and give you the facts on that since you want to deflect to it. That's fine. So Ashley Biden's diary was stolen from her. It was taken by and then sold to Project Veritas, which is an alt-right think tank that actually has a track record of getting documents on political opponents, manipulating and changing them to make their political opponents look bad. And then this diary was presented to a court, and in response, in deposition to that court, Ashley Biden said that there has been false allegations lobbed at her as well as the individuals that she cares about, as well as the contents of the diary in multiple circumstances have been misinterpreted. What I would say is that the contents of that diary, because it was stolen and sold to Project Veritas, and because she said in her deposition that there's been false allegations lobbed at her as well as those that she cares about, is unverified and unconfirmed. Now, if you would say that an unverified and unconfirmed diary alleging that Biden had done this to Ashley, even though Ashley said there's been false allegations lobbed at her and her dad, is a sufficient level of evidence to believe that Biden had showered with Ashley, then why isn't a unanimous jury of 9 concluding that Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll in a court not sufficient evidence to believe that Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll?
I don't know. I haven't looked at all the evidence of that case.
Okay, well, you also didn't even know what the basis of the evidence was for your claim that Biden had raped E. Jean Carroll until you looked it up about 2 minutes ago. He left. Goodbye. Good day, sir. That's right. No, get absolutely pushed. Get fucking clocked. Yeah, that one was satisfying. I'm not going to try to hide it. I'm not going to try to hide it. That one was satisfying. I won't even lie. That one was satisfying. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. Go ahead and hop in that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. And if you're watching and you would like to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal and the link tree in my bio. I get 100% of all the proceeds over on those platforms. They go straight to me, as well as you'll get a notification on my phone where I could give you a shout out and read any and all attached messages. You could also find them in the pinned comment over on that YouTube, or you could also support me on Super Chat. But let's go and load that next guest up here now. Go ahead and hop in that queue if you are an American adult that supports Trump as president, or go ahead and put a Trump with your age down below in that comment section, and we're going to get you loaded up here. We got the next guest, Shane, loading in. We got Shane loading in. Janet, thank you for another $20 over on Super Chat. That is very kind of you, Janet. Let's get another 200, Janet W. Seriously, I really appreciate you for your love today. What's up, Shane? Do you support Trump?
No, but can I have 10 seconds of your time?
Unfortunately not, my friend, as we're only looking to talk to Trump supporters. I'm going to go ahead and say this one time, and I'm going to say it loud and clear. If you are not a Trump supporter and you happen to hop in that queue and come up here, I will have to remove you just because we are just looking for debates. But I do love you all. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Dean, thank you. I'm a trans girl. That's all I'm going to say. I love you so much. I can't. I'm freaking out.
Hey, I really appreciate you for your support, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. And stay safe out there. America is a fucking really scary country for members of the LGBTQ+ community today. Stay safe. Take care. Let's go to get that next guest, Austin, loaded up here. As well as, I'm not going to read off your name because of what you said. Anonymous, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. I really appreciate you for the love. They said Grape Survivor ×2 here. Still haven't reported it because of men like him. Thank you for all that you do. I'm really sorry that you got to go through that. And I'm going to call you Anonymous just because you haven't reported it yet. So like, I didn't want to like share your name. You know what I mean? But I really appreciate you for the $10. And I'm really fucking sorry that you had to go through that. And I'm sorry that there's shitty men like that last guest here. What is up, Austin? Do you support Trump as president?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Great. Before we hop into the debate, let me go ahead and thank a handful of people here. Madeline, thank you for the $15 on Venmo, saying in law school and I listen to you in between classes. You should consider law school too, by the way. You know, I actually am. If I were to go back to school, that's what I'd do. Thank you for the $15. As well as Ben for the $10 on Venmo, saying this is for Momo, new toy time. I need to get a new toy. Thank you, Ben. And then Kinsey, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo, saying I appreciate you taking the time to share facts and more importantly, caring about the general well-being of the people in our country. You have my unwavering support, Kinsey. That is so fucking kind of you. I appreciate you for the kind message and the $20. Show some love to Kinsey down below. And then Maisie and Shauna with a 10, Emma with a 5. Thank you guys so much for the love. And then Savannah with the $10 as well. Thank you, Savannah. And then Amy with a $15. Thank you, Amy. And Carlos with a 5. I really appreciate y'all so much for the love over on Venmo. Go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you support Trump as president.
Yeah, well, there's some things Trump says that I think are just ridiculous, and I think he can be a very immoral person. But overall, between the candidates that could have won, I think Trump's opinions and policies more align with a historic Orthodox Christian Judeo values, things like abortion or just the policies of that he makes. I think they're more in line with conservative Christianity.
Okay. Would you be okay with our country being run as a theocracy?
I don't think so, no.
Then why do you care about how in line or out of line the governance of the country is with Orthodox Christian I'm just going to call it Christian values because I can't say that.
Well,
then why do you care about how in or out of line our country is with Christian values?
Well, maybe we need to define theocracy to understand and make sure we're talking about the same thing. But if you're thinking about theocracy, like I think of theocracy as kind of like how there was like in history times of like the Roman Empire and the church kind of controlled everything. No, that's not what I mean. That's what I understand theocracy to be.
So if the church shouldn't control everything, then why should values of the church control everything?
Well, what I mean by that is that the one nation under God kind of idea that it should lean towards Christianity, which is kind of how was the predominant religion when America was founded.
Do you think that we are leaning towards or away from Christianity when we have a felon rapist president that is taking 10 million low-income Americans off of health care when Matthew tells you the way that you treat the lesser among you is the way that you treat the Lord your God?
I think that we are leaning away, but not as much if Kamala was president. So it'd be worse if Kamala was president.
I know, with the child tax credit making new families better off, with the tax cuts for 100 million American citizens to introduce more income equity and offering better benefits to low and middle class Americans. We would just be diverting so far away from the conservative delusion that of the Christian faith, which is look out for nobody but yourself, treat those that are lesser than you like shit.
Okay, but that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm saying.
Signal that you care about the Lord your God.
But that doesn't have anything to do with what I was saying. That was all a red herring.
Well, I mean, I think it was clear. I'm making a strong argument here that economically speaking, the left is so much more in alignment with Christian values than the right.
Well, no, I mean, I definitely don't think it is. I mean, and all those things were not things that, okay, so I guess, one thing would be, I think Trump has been better on abortion than Kamala.
That's not an answer to the question that I asked you.
Yeah, that's more in line with historic Orthodox Christian Judeo values, as I said before.
Thank you for expanding upon the statement that wasn't an answer to the question that I asked you, but I would now.
Okay, well then repeat your question that I didn't answer.
I said that the left is much more in line with Christianity, economically speaking, with right. You said that you disagreed, and I asked you why.
Oh, economically speaking, yeah, I didn't catch that part. So, economically speaking, I would probably have to look more into it, I guess. But I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily true either. I mean, if you look at the history of how Christianity has operated in governmental terms, in economic terms. I think it's looked more like modern day Republicans, but it looks much more differently than Republicans or Democrats if you look at the history of Christianity.
Wait. I have a question. Are like historical governments that have upheld Christianity outside of like, I don't know, like the Roman Catholics in Rome, your magisterium or your scripture?
I'm not sure that question makes sense, but no.
Okay, so then why are you trying to point me towards something that isn't a mark of self-accuracy in alignment with the testimony of God to argue what the testimony of God is? You're just saying that there's been a lot of shitty men that have run governments before us that said they were in alignment with Christianity, that did things similar to what the Republicans and the GOP want to do in America today, but those shitty men that ran those governments that said they were Christian had no normative church power to dictate what truly was or wasn't Christian.
Well, because you asked me earlier, you said that the economy, the Christianity much more aligns with the economy of the left, and that's just not true because the history of Christianity does not align with the left. Actually, the more that I think about it, it aligns much more closer to the Republican Party as far as things on abortion, things on the border, things on the difference between a man and a woman.
So what is the history?
Much more historically aligned. If I could finish.
Well, I mean, you're just not answering my question. What is a history of Christianity that historically aligns, that is relevant in the sense of determining what is true of Christian values to the economic policy of the GOP today?
It's based upon and if I could finish without being interrupted, it's based on what you said about. You said the Christianity aligns much more with the economic principles of the left. And so I'm assuming I got that far right, correct?
Yeah, and then I asked you why you disagree, and you said, well, historically speaking, Christianity and governments and their economic policy has been closer to the economic policy of the GOP today. Okay, so what historical Christian governments have had economic policy that was in closer alignment with the GOP today, and why did the economic policy of these Christian governments dictate, normatively speaking, how Christians should act?
Yeah, so, well, Byzantium, which is the Roman Empire, this does not just mean Roman Catholics. This just means from like the 5th century to like the 16th century before the Protestant Reformation, the Christianity did control, like there was no separation between church and state. And so, but they looked much more like the Republican Party as far as, like I said, things on abortion, having clear borders, differences between man and woman. And so these things do not align with the left as economically, as you were saying. And also capitalism.
What branch of the Orthodoxy are you?
I'm not. I just know I'm Protestant, but I just know church history.
Bruh, the first thing that you said when you came up here was that you want to uphold Orthodox Christian values. So I assume that you were Orthodox.
Little O Orthodox. There's a difference between capital O Eastern Orthodox and little O Orthodox. Do you not know the difference?
I don't know the difference. What is little O Orthodox?
Are you
using like little O Orthodox to like convey the orthodoxy in like a traditional sense? Of just saying like the orthodoxy of like old church fathers and the conception of the text of the Bible?
Or ecumenical councils. Yes, little O Orthodox Judeo-Christian values is different than capital O.
You're just referring to the ecumenical councils. Okay, whatever. Usually Christians don't use the word Orthodox in the way they refer to the Great Schism in like
Western
and Eastern Orthodox.
They do.
Whatever. I won't play semantics with you because now you just made this debate about 10 times easier because you just pointed towards historically Christian governments and what they've done and what they've said in order to ordain what is or isn't Christian. Aren't you as a Protestant? Don't you as a Protestant uphold sola scriptura?
Yes, and I say that because what you said, this just disproves everything that you said earlier about how Christianity more aligns with the economics of the left. You're totally
one second. If you believe,
you're interrupting me
because you're president, because we need to make this point clear.
Your point, and
Austin,
so now you're just
we need to make this point incredibly clear. So you are a Protestant, which means you believe in sola scriptura. For those of you that are listening in, sola scriptura is the idea that if you want to learn about God, God's teaching, God's wisdom, or what God wants us to do, you look no further than the scripture. Church fathers outside of those, that is what sola scriptura is.
No, it's not. So if you look up any of the historic Protestant texts, sola scriptura only says that the scripture is the only infallible rule of faith. That does not mean there are other rules of faith. Look, listen, but
it means the other rules of faith are fallible.
Yes, they're fallible, but there's other rules of faith that are very important. So even the ecumenical councils.
Why would you look towards fallible rules of faith?
It's a difference between It's the difference between like an umpire in a game. An umpire in a baseball game can make mistakes, but he's still an authority.
Wait. I'm actually going to educate you now as a Protestant. The only reason why you say that the ecumenical councils have authority is because the ecumenical council echoed what was in the scripture, right?
The ecumenical council echo was in the scripture. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
Right.
that's a fine way to say it.
Right,
Sure.
exactly. So ultimately, you do not look any further than the scripture, and you will say that bodies such as the ecumenical councils do have authority because they are in alignment with the scripture. If the ecumenical councils were not
this
in
is not
alignment,
a
one
fair
moment,
representation.
you just said it was. If the ecumenical councils,
it's not.
if the
I did
ecumenical
not say
councils,
that.
one moment, if the ecumenical councils were not in alignment with the scripture, would you say that the ecumenical councils have church authority?
Okay, I just want to make clear that this is not what I said. And if you read what historic Protestants say, or even popular Protestant YouTubers, and what they're saying, this is not an adequate or fair representation of their perspective.
You already affirmed that it is.
No, okay.
You affirm that the only reason that you think that the
You're gonna
ecumenical
if you're
councils
gonna
have
misinterpret
authority
me, that's
is
fine. Maybe
because
we should
they
move
echo
on to
what the
a
scripture
different topic.
says.
Maybe we should move on to it. If you're just going to misunderstand me, then we should move on.
Just explain how I've misunderstood you.
I told you that you have to take things, yes, the ecumenical councils in church history and things like that have to be understood, as far as they align with the scriptures. But when you dabble off with a view in the scriptures that is far away from some of the ecumenical councils or something that's novel to Christianity, that's a problem. And so they do play a role. And so that's the part that you're missing. That's the part that you're not understanding. And that's the part that Protestants have historically always
You're saying that they play a role in what? Would you say that it's fair to say that the role that they play is helping us understand the scripture?
Yes, and
boom.
And
okay.
how,
therefore, would you agree?
God,
Therefore, one moment. Therefore, would
yes.
you agree that the scripture would be the highest authority of God?
Okay, you're not letting me fully answer. Okay, you're asking me a question, and then you let me answer just
it's
for 1 second.
It's because you want to get lost in the weeds having a discussion about historical
No.
Christianity because you didn't think I knew historical Christianity, but I do.
You don't.
Really? What year was the Great
But,
Schism? What year was the Great Schism?
Oh my! There's not a year on it. Actually, did you not know there's not a year on it?
Yes, it
Did
is.
you not know
There is a year. It's 1054 CE.
No, that's ridiculous. Okay, look at any Orthodox or Catholic scholar, and they're not going to say the exact year is 1054. That's a common date that's misrepresented. Actually, most people like to say it's
misrepresented
in the
by
1200s.
whom? Catholic Answers, Catholic Bridge, the Orthodox Church in of themselves, the Magisterium of the Orthodox, the Magisterium of the Orthodoxy.
All historic. Modern day scholars. Okay, so 1054 is just a common date that you'd find on Wikipedia. It's ridiculous that that's low level. That's what you would say.
According
like
to
whom? You don't know Christian history if that's what you're saying.
According to whom?
Why don't we look at people? If you want to look on YouTube, you go people like Ubi Petrus. You go to people like Jay Dyer. If you want to look at the common date, but just look up any Orthodox scholars about that. That's going to be the common date they give. But a lot of people say it's more in the 1200s when the Crusades went wrong and the Catholics sent to attack the Orthodox at Constantinople on accident, but it did happen.
Okay, so actually,
anyways, we should move on. I'm not even trying to get into that.
Literally, so I just pulled this from the metadata of one of Jay Dyer's YouTube videos. If you search up Jay Dyer, Church, Papacy, and Schism, the Bizarre Metaphysics of the Papacy, Jay Dyer, it is a 2-hour video. And inside of the video, once again, he affirms that the Great Schism did indeed occur in 1054. And once again, pointing to YouTubers,
that's not,
pointing to YouTubers such as Jay Dyer over church leaders of the Orthodoxy is fucking insane. No, you will not sit here and tell me that I am the one that is not academically correct and that I am the one with the false, crazy misinterpretations because I'm listening to the church fathers of the Orthodoxy compared to fucking YouTubers. Come on, Austin. You're a joke. You came up here to have a religious debate with me, thinking you could catch me off guard because all I do every day is debate politics, policy, and Trump. But little did you know that my hyperfixation of research outside of politics is the history of the Christian church. Little did you know, Austin. Feel free to unmute. Feel free to unmute.
Did you mute me?
Yeah, I did.
Well, okay, well then I can't unmute myself then. If you're asking me to unmute myself, I can't unmute myself if you muted me.
Yeah, you can.
Okay?
If you click on your profile picture, an icon of a mic will pop up and you click.
I literally was trying. I couldn't do it.
Yes, you can.
Anyways, yeah, no, what you said was wrong. And if you're just looking at the metadata, that's incorrect. So you can look at Edward Jasinski, you can look up Eric Ibarra, you can look up all these different people that are scholars. It doesn't have to be YouTubers, but who's going to go read a scholarly, academic, historical book? Okay, I'm trying to talk to the audience here.
I don't even understood what you just said. You could look at all these scholars.
Understand.
You could look at all these
follow.
scholars. Okay, see, that is why I muted you, because you interrupted me.
Okay, so if people went back and listened to this and they see how many times you interrupted me and now you're mad at me because I interrupted you twice, that's ridiculous.
What screamed mad there? I was just giving you an explanation of why I muted you after you got angry because I muted you.
Yeah, I know, but look how many times you interrupted me in the past of this conversation.
Okay, so are you saying that like it's okay for you to interrupt me and it's okay for you to get angry when I mute you when you interrupt me because apparently I've interrupted you too? Can you please detail to me how that follows?
Yes, that is pretty much a fair representation.
Okay, yeah, give me an argument for that.
Well, if you're going to have a debate, impromptu debate with me, and we're going to sit here for 20 or 30 minutes, and you're going to interrupt me several times and not let me fully answer questions, and you do that probably over 10 times during the conversation, and then I do it 2 or 3 times later in the conversation, it's completely fine based upon the debate parameters that how you've been debating. Now, I've tried to let you speak when you speak and not interrupt you, but if you're going to interrupt me earlier times than I interrupt you, that's the nature of the debate that you created yourself, and now you're calling it out, which is a complete contradiction, which is idiotic.
Wait, doesn't God call you to turn the other cheek? Use scripture to get dunked on.
Well, yes, but what does that have to do with anything
because you
I
just
said?
didn't turn the other cheek, assuming everything that you said was true, you're saying an eye for an eye and interrupt for the interrupt. Jesus tells you to turn the other cheek.
No, that doesn't mean that if that's how you're trying to interpret the verse, that's also stupid and shows you a lack of an indication of what Christianity is.
God, you're fucking insufferable. I'm moving on to the next guest. Let's go to move on. Dude, I say anything about Christianity ever, and he's like, oh, you are such a uneducated fool. Dude, get the fuck out of here. We're going to move on to the next guest. Let's go get that next guest loaded up in here. Hop in that cube. That's funny as fuck. Hop in that cube. That's so funny. Hop in that cube. You support Trump as president. We're going to... Dude, that was really funny. Okay. Dude, Dean opens his mouth to begin talking about Christianity. Guess? Oh, you're an uneducated fool. You understand absolutely nothing of the faith. You are so uneducated. Let's get that next guest up here. Up that queue, if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president, we're going to get you loaded up in here. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Okay, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Mindy, thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate that. How old are you?
21.
Awesome. Quickly, before we hop into our conversation, I would like to thank the other disgusted veteran for the $10 over in Super Chat. I really appreciate you for the love. Show some love to the disgusted veteran down below. As well as Coral, thank you so much for the $20 Super Chat, saying happy Friday. I hope all is going well. It's going all right. I'm a little tired and a little hungry, but nonetheless, I'm having a good time. Thank you for the $20, Coral, as well as it's good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you in here in a while. I would also like to thank Catherine for the $10 on Venmo, saying, don't these people realize that Jesus would hate Trump? Oh, they absolutely would. As well as Lumi, thank you so much for the $20 donation on Venmo. Lumi, that is so fucking kind of you. Holy shit. Lumi with the $20 says, thank you for standing up for victims of SA. I'm a victim of 6 years. Me and 2 other victims are going against our abuser from 20 plus years ago. Thank you for being a voice for us all. Some are terrified to speak up. Much love. Lumi, I am very proud of you. That is such a hard thing to do, and I'm so happy that you have people to to go through that experience with, so you are not alone. Of course, I'm not saying I'm happy that you or the other individuals were abused, but I am happy that following that, you have a group of people to go through it with, so you are not alone. And you're not alone in here either. We all love you, Lumi. That is Lumi. I appreciate you for the $20. As well as Keaton and Avery, appreciate you both for the $5. That is very kind of you. As well as Jennifer with the $20 over on Venmo. Jennifer, the 20, thank you so much. Jennifer says, thank you for doing what you do with calm, cool grace, and devastating precision. It is a joy to watch you work. I appreciate you for that, love, seriously. As well as Grace with the 10. And Claire, thank you so much for the $15. I'm going to go ahead and read your message there to myself. I appreciate you for that information. I appreciate you for your support as well. Show some love to Claire down below. I'm going to go to give the mic to the guest now to tell us why they support Trump. Take it away.
So, I don't know if you remember me, but I'm still like 100% sure that LeBron is pretty cute. And like, I'm really sure. Do you remember me, Dean?
Moving on to the next guest, hop in that queue. If you support Trump as president, we'll get you loaded up here. We got Reese loading in. As well as, let's see here, Eva, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. Eva with the $10 says, may all the men who want to control our bodies find you so you could shut them up. Keep killing it. I appreciate that, Eva. Thank you. As well as Joshua with the $10 saying thank you for all the work you do. Thank you, Joshua. Sophie and Diana, I appreciate you both for the $5. Travis and Amanda with the $5. Thank you guys so much for the love. As well as what is going on, Reese? Do you support Trump? Okay, Reese isn't even here. Go ahead and put a Trump with your age down below in that comment section if you'd like to come up and have a conversation with me. As well as Cordelia. Thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. Cordelia, that is crazy. Thank you so much. Cordelia with the 20 big one says, just a bit of support as always because you keep me feeling sane and hopeful. Cordelia, it's so good to see you again. You were literally always in here with us. I really appreciate you for that love. Show some love to Cordelia down below. That is seriously so very kind of you. As well as welcome in. What is going on, Jesse? Do you support Trump as president? Okay, they're not here either. Looks like the queue is full of bots, guys. Okay, I'm going to start pulling up from that comment section just because the queue is full of bots. Let's get that next guest up in here right now for the 11.6 thousand people hanging out with us over on TikTok. Y'all make sure that we're double tapping. Yo, Craig! Oh my God! Yo, let me make sure this is real quick. What's up? Do you support Trump?
In like 30 minutes.
Why do you sound so zesty?
Well, I don't know. No clue. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay, all right. How old are you? Okay, he's gone. Moving on to the next guest. And yes, dude, fucking Craig. Thank you so much for the $100 donation over on Venmo. Greg, that is fucking insane. Thank you so much, man. Craig with $100 says, you give me hope that this country can survive MAGA by seeding truth and compassion into ignorant soil. You have the patience of a saint. Craig, that is literally so kind of you. I really appreciate you, not just for the $100 donation, but also for the really kind message. I do not deserve that much love. That is so much fucking money. Show some love to Craig down below, and I seriously really do appreciate it, man. What is going on? Do you support Trump? Dude, hello? 543.
Hello?
Hi, do you support Trump?
No, but I have a question.
Banned. We're only looking to talk to Trump supporters. Have a good one, man. Moving on to the next guest, we got Paul loading in. What's up, Paul? You MAGA?
No.
Okay, banned. Like I said to the last guest, just looking for Trump supporters. Follow them rules. Moving on to Molly, here we go. And then Cambry, thank you for the $7 on Venmo, saying thank you for all that you do. I appreciate you for that love, Cambry. As well as Izzy, thank you for the $5, as well as I read your message there. Good luck with in poli-sci. And then Shannon and Jared both with the $10. Thank you guys so much for the fucking love. I really appreciate it. You guys have all been so very kind today. Thank you all so much. What's up? Do you support Trump? Dude, what is going on with the bots? Does anyone have an explanation? I'll take that as a yes. They do support Trump. Okay, here's the deal. Right now, we have 12 people in here. Wait, what? 12,000 people in here. There we go. We have 12,000 people in here, and there's literally not a single person that is watching this live right now that supports Trump as president, that is an American adult, that is willing to come up here and have a conversation with me. That's crazy. That's crazy. Where are y'all at? Hop in the queue. Yo, as well as Bryn. Dude, Bryn, thank you so much for the $30 donation on Venmo. Bryn, holy fuck, that is so kind of you. Thank you, Bryn. Show some love to Bryn in that chat, y'all, for the $30. Bryn says thank you for being exactly who you are. I appreciate you for your kind words, Bryn. Thank you for the $30 donation, too, and I appreciate you for being here, and I hope that you're enjoying the stream. What's up? Do you support Trump as president?
I do.
All right. So why the hell do you support Trump as president?
Main reason is better option than Kamala.
Kamala.
It's the only reason I can think of.
Can you do me a favor real quick, my friend? Can you disconnect any and all Bluetooth devices you have connected to your phone?
Yeah.
All right, while you're doing that, your mic's going to get much better. Mary, thank you for the $10 super chat over on YouTube, saying, Dean, I love nothing more than watching you spit facts and spread logic and moral fiber nuggets around. Thank you, Mary.
Is that better?
Yeah, so you said that you support Trump as president just because he was better than Harris?
I mean, not just because, like, I'm not like a huge Trump supporter, but like I voted for him over Kamala because, I mean, it was, yeah, I just didn't like her. I didn't think that she could ever answer a real question. The fact that like
so you don't think she's good at speaking?
On like 60 Minutes and all that, like.
So they cut an interview on 60 Minutes.
They fully cut it out. They fully cut it out and subbed out her answer because they knew she couldn't answer a question.
So that's actually not true. What they did is they just cut out the ums, ands, and buts, and they've edited literally every 60-minute interview in the same fashion for every president they've ever done a sit-down with. And by the way, that is a really bad example and or argument for you to give, considering that Donald Trump didn't even show up to his 60 Minutes interview.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but Trump has done way more interviews in the past. He served 4 years. He didn't need to do an interview with 60 Minutes. Kamala did 4 years as a vice president and didn't do a single thing. I mean, didn't she have like the
now you're moving on to saying that she didn't do a single thing during her 4 years. Before we move on to that, I'm actually going to go ahead and bring something else up. You said that Donald Trump does all of these interviews, right?
Yeah.
You never talk about what he said in the interviews, and you will never boast a talking point from him performing well in one of these interviews, as every single time he is in front of a camera and a microphone, he fucking bombs it and makes a total embarrassment out of himself and his country. Like, for instance, literally yesterday when he was speaking from the Oval Office, he said if you walk a block in Memphis, you're going to get shot. Is that something a coherent, sane person would say? No. The day before that, when he was speaking from the Oval, he said it's illegal to criticize him in the media. Is that something that a coherent, sane person would say? No. The day before that, he was speaking from the Oval. He said that vaccinating your newborns is giving them too much liquid. Is that something that a coherent, sane person would say? No. Right? So you'll talk about how he does all these interviews. You'll talk about how he's always in front of the camera, but you'll never talk about what he says when he's in front of the camera. And maybe that's why.
Okay, right. Like, I agree with most of what you just said. I mean, I 100% agree. It's just like, I think that he was the better option. That's honestly all it is.
But you're saying that he's a better option because you think he's better at public speaking, but he's obviously not. I've never heard Kamala Harris say...
Not even because he's better at public speaking. I just think he was the better option. And, he ran the country for 4 years. I think he did a great job. Joe Biden, when he was in office, didn't think he did a great job. I didn't think Kamala was going to do anything.
Kamala is how you pronounce it. Oh, you have a repost here.
Okay, here.
No, I actually have a question. You have a repost. No, I'm going to talk.
Someone just mentioned me that I'm a racist.
I'm going to just go ahead and talk. So you have a repost here with a video of Kamala Harris. This was posted on Election Day, I'd assume after she lost, with a picture of her cooking, and it says "Back to the Kitchen." Do you think that women should stay in the kitchen?
No.
No. So then, why do you have a repost of a woman saying "Back to the kitchen"?
Because it was funny.
So you think it's like funny to say that women should be like subjugated to like stay in the kitchen?
No, I mean, bro, I think jokes are funny, bro, and videos are funny.
Well, jokes have punchlines. What's the punchline of that joke?
That she lost the election.
That video has nothing to do with her losing the election. It just literally says.
It literally said. It literally said she lost the election.
No, it says back to the kitchen.
But that's what it's implying. What is the caption of that video?
The caption of that video is back to the kitchen.
No, in the actual caption.
I didn't read the actual caption. I just don't think it's funny. I don't. Obviously you do. Of course you do. I mean, I could never expect anything more out of you. You seem like a pretty pathetic Republican, weak beta male. So it's on brand.
Nice.
Right. So now, anyways, back to the discussion. I mean, once again, you told us the reason why you support the dude that has only passed policy to destroy this country, rip healthcare away from millions, and regress us to such a insane extent. Is what? The fact that you didn't like how Kamala Harris spoke?
Yeah.
Right. So you'd prefer fascism over a woman's voice?
I mean, bro, I don't think that. I'm not even saying that Trump is the best president we've ever had. I just think he was the better option.
Okay. So what is one Trump policy that you like? And by the way, I just want to play this to you about
nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. But with Tylenol, don't take it. Don't take it. And if you can't live, if your fever is so bad, you have to take one because there's no alternative to that. Sadly, first question, what can you take instead? It's actually, there's not an alternative to that. And as you know, other of the medicines are absolutely proven bad. I mean, they've been proven bad with the aspirins and the Advils and others, right? And they've been proven bad.
Yeah, that's your great public speaking president, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He sounds like an idiot, but I don't know. Who would you? Okay, change. Would you rather have Harris had? Would you have rather had her be in office?
Yeah, obviously.
Or somebody else. I'm saying any candidate, because she was also just straight up. She wasn't even elected in a primary. She was just.
Are you a registered Republican?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have been able to vote in the Democratic primary.
No, I know. I'm asking
so
you.
So that should just be completely unconcerned to you. Yeah, actually, at the time, I do think that she was the best candidate. Of course, there's other people out there with better thoughts than her in my mind. I don't like her support for Israel. But there's nobody else that could have had a better chance at winning the election but her because she was a serving VP. So do you have any reason to support Trump beyond the fact that you just think Kamala Harris is a bad public speaker, even though I've re-demonstrated a billion times now that Donald Trump is worse?
I mean, his economy was pretty good back from 2016 to 2020.
He wasn't president in 2016.
Until COVID.
What was one good economic policy that he passed in his first term?
I have no idea.
So then how do you know he was good for the economy? Are you just saying because the economic
his prices were lower?
Oh, yeah, you're just saying because of the economic performance under his term. Well, in April of 2020, we had the highest level of unemployment since the Great Depression at 14.8%. Because you are blaming anything good that happens in the country under his term on him. Can't I just blame anything that's bad that happens in the country on him?
I mean, yeah, fair. That's what I did with Biden.
Okay, so then he wasn't good for the economy because he's actually the worst president for employment since the Great Depression.
So who is?
Oh, I don't know. Kamala Harris, she was pretty good for the economy. She ran a deficit-reducing policy to give tax cuts to 100 million American citizens.
No, who was an actual president? That was you just said he was the worst since the Great Depression, but who was the best?
I just don't really think that it should be too concerned given our conversation. I'm just still trying to identify why you support Trump. How about this? Can you name one thing Trump has ever done that you like?
Secured the border.
Okay, what did he do to secure the border?
I mean, I don't want to say the DRUGS or anything like that to get freaking banned or whatever, but I mean, basically completely stopped all the stuff coming over the border.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. At all. We sent way more guards down to the border
to crack down on
illegal immigrants.
Right? Yes, undocumented immigrants. What percentage of DRUGS that are brought across the southern border into this country are brought across by citizens?
I don't know.
80, according to Homeland Security. Has he done anything to crack down on the citizens bringing the DRUGS into America?
I don't know.
He hasn't, exactly.
Probably
so
not.
That's actually not an argument. That's a
But
non-starter.
nobody. I mean, that's the other thing. Nobody is. Like,
Okay, well, now you're just trying to shift the goalpost because remember, I'm asking you what is one thing Donald Trump has ever done that makes
Well,
you support him as president.
my whole
and now,
stance
and now the
is
point that
like-
we've gotten at is you saying, well, like he hasn't done this thing that would make him good, but nobody's done this thing.
right. That's what I'm saying. Nobody has. But I
Right.
just
So
think
then this
that-
isn't like
I just
an
think that-
example of one good thing that he's done as president.
I guess I don't know.
So
Really.
then what is one good thing he's done as president that makes you support him?
The border.
So what
I
has he
just
done
said
for the
that.
border?
I just told you all the guards he sent down there and all the amount of undocumented illegals coming in.
So what good policy has he implemented to slow undocumented entry into this country?
I don't know the specific policy, but
Oh my God!
you?
Then how do you know that he reduced undocumented border crossings with good policy if you don't know that good policy?
yeah, I don't know, bro.
Dude. Yeah, get out, bruh. We're gonna move on to the next guest. Low effort. Low effort. Very low effort. Megan. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat on YouTube, Megan. That is so very kind of you. Megan with the $20 super chat says, hey, I have a super commute to work, and your live and Parker's lives gets me through it. Although I'm sure people on the train think I'm crazy for my reactions to some of the people you debate. Thank you for using your voice for good. Megan, enjoy your commute, and I'm happy the streams can help. Yeah, sometimes listening to these streams can really make the time fly by. As well as Scarlett, thank you so much for the $50 super chat on YouTube, Scarlett. That is so fucking kind of you. Let's get 500 Scarlett W's down below right now, folks. Scarlett with a 50 says, Dean, thank you so much for your kind words. Yesterday, never in my life have I heard something so uplifting from a stranger on the internet. You are a gem of this world. You need to be protected, Scarlett. It's good to see you again today. You're one of my favorite people. I appreciate you for that love. Show some love to Scarlett. They're in here literally every single day, and I hope that you're doing well. Huge shout out to Scarlett, and welcome in new guest. Do you support Trump as president?
Hello, yes I do.
Age, please.
19.
What year were you born in, please?
August 10th, 2006.
Okay. Friends, I'm going to call you Friends. Friends, thank you for the $10 on Vimeo saying it's my birthday, Dean. Happy birthday, Friends. That is awesome. Happy birthday. As well as Naughty with the $10 saying that science's biggest failure is not being able to clone Obama. Dude, yeah, we need Obama back right now, bro. As well as Jennifer. Thank you so much for the $20 on Vimeo. Thank you so much, Jennifer. That is so fucking kind of you. Show some love to Jennifer. Thank you, seriously. Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer says, first time listening and now a new fan. Thank you for what you do. Keep educated and finding the good fight. Gymnastic on TikTok. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I'm happy that you enjoy the streams. As well as Maddie with the $20 as well, saying the same thing. New listener, and I'm so inspired. Thank you. I appreciate your brain and the dedication.
Oh my God.
Maddie, I'm really happy that you're enjoying the streams. It is so awesome connecting with the new listeners. That is so cool. Show some love to Jennifer and Maddie down below in that box. I really appreciate you guys for the love. And if you're watching and you want to support me, you could find my Venmo, my PayPal, in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. I get 100% of all the proceeds over on those platforms. They go straight to me. And I could shout you out and read off any and all attached messages. We need to kick that last guy because they weren't actually MAGA. What's up? Do you support Trump?
I love you, Dane. Oh my God, I cannot believe you.
I appreciate you for that love. Just looking for debate, so you take care. Let's go to move on to that next Trump supporter. Right now, we got Joseph Cameron loading up into the box. In the meantime, Char Arm, thank you for the $10 from PayPal saying, hey, Dean, it's my birthday tomorrow. Happy early birthday, Char. Happy early birthday. If you come back tomorrow, I'll give you a birthday shout out on the big day. As well as Nico with the $10 saying, yo, Dean, what's up, Nico? Appreciate you for the 10, my friend. As well as Miriam with the $10 as well saying, great work. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for the love. Let's get that next Trump supporter loaded up in here. Go ahead and put a Trump with your age down below in that comment section. It doesn't look like Joseph is loading up. We're going to get that next guest loaded up in here right now, folks. Looking for that next Trump supporter. There's not too many Trump supporters that are down to chat with me. They're quite scared, quite frankly. Very terrified indeed. What is up? Do you support Trump?
Yep.
Age, please.
19.
And how long do you expect me to believe that for? He left on his own. Goodbye. Moving on. Here we go. But he got raptured. He got raptured by the fetus god. He got raptured. He got sent back to the uterus. Moving on to the next guess. Here we go. Go ahead and put a Trump with your age in that queue. In that comment section, sorry, not that queue if you want to come up. Right now, we're just simply looking for the MAGA. They're nowhere to be seen. They don't want to talk to me, okay? The of-age American adults that support Trump are nowhere to be found. What is up? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Age, please.
23.
And why the hell do you support who's, in my mind, the worst president of your 23 years of life?
Well, before I start, just want to say before September ends, it's almost over. Happy national, or is it national, or just Friendship Month to you and Parker. I couldn't think of an example of two closer friends other than Trump and Epstein.
Creative. Big points for creativity. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here because we're just looking for MAGA. But big points for creativity. Very big points. Very big points for creativity. Indeed. Very big points. Moving on. What the hell? Here we go. Oh, what the hell? Here we go. Oh, they were driving with a crazy echo. Get the hell out of here. Moving on to the next guest. You know what I want? I want an old fella. I want an old fella to come up here and tell us why they support Trump. Where are our screaming grandmas and grandmas at? Where are they at? Grandpas and grandmas, come here, come here. What is up? Do you support Trump? Nope, he's not even there, not even here. Okay, all right, everyone. Looks like we are failing to find literally anyone that supports Trump. Oh, we're actually going to bring someone up. Okay, all right. Watch this, chat. This will be an interesting one. This will be a very interesting one. Mark, automatically unmute. Mark, today we are going to work through your insecurities. Okay. So if you don't know who Mark is, Mark comes up here like every other day, calls me a bitch, gets all big in his fifis, and then I kick him. Mark, today I want you to do something that you've never done before. I want you to get a hold of your big feelings. I want you to, grow the hell up and sit down and have a real conversation with me, okay?
Hello?
Hey,
Yo, how do you
up?
do you actually remember that? How do you remember that?
Because I have a good memory.
That's crazy.
So do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to actually talk about it today?
Yeah, let's talk.
Okay, let's do it. I'm actually going to have you do something, okay?
Okay, but.
I'm going to have you rejoin the queue after I kick you because I need to go unlock the front door for my girlfriend and I do not trust you to be up here alone. For everyone watching, I'll be back in 20 seconds. Literally got to bolt downstairs for 3 seconds, then run back up, Mark, hop back in that queue, and BRB everyone. Okay. I am back. Here we go. All right, let's go ahead and get Mark back up here. Let's go to get Mark back up here. Hop in that queue if you support Trump. Oh, and we already got Mark back. All right, welcome back, Mark.
What's up, buddy?
All right, everyone in the chat said thanks for not leaving us with him. Yeah, I wouldn't trust him to do that. Welcome back. Take it away. Why the hell do you support Trump as president, Mr. Emotional Mark?
That's not nice. Okay,
well,
before I get started, I have a question.
Oh, God.
Do you believe
Mark?
No, trust. No, let me talk. Please let me spit. You changed, right? But whenever you were 14 and from now, you changed. Because you said the N whenever you were 14, and from there, you drastically changed your life. Yes or no? Yes or no?
So
yes. Yes or no? No, Dean, yes or no? Dean, yes or no?
I have to be able to get a syllable out.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was 14, I said the N-word. I don't say the N-word anymore. Right.
Exactly. No, exactly. Okay.
Precisely.
You bring up all this shit that Trump did back in 2005, back two decades ago, 20 years ago, and you don't think that someone can change. I even heard something else crazy that he said ever since those times. Ever since 2005. He was 14. This was 20 years ago. Like you don't think people can change?
Check this out. I'm going to blow your mind. Are you ready?
Blow it, bro.
Okay. Point number 1. People can change. Does this mean that people do change? No. Point number 2. people can't change in all ways. I think one very clear way that people cannot change would be in the way of rape, SA, P3diophilia, so on and so forth. I believe that these actions, including the action that we're talking about that Donald Trump engaged in, which was the sexual exploitation of women and girls in Miss Teen USA and Miss USA, were portraying of a mischaracterization of his fundamental values, okay? If you're gonna grape a woman or sexually exploit women and girls, okay, then it is the case that you just fundamentally lack certain moral values, then I'm unsure if you could get them back.
Oh shit, I was muted. So you don't think he can change?
Yeah, like for being a rapist, I think that you have to lack certain fundamental values, and I don't know if you can change.
You think he raped Eugene Carroll, correct?
Yeah, raped Eugene Carroll and sexually exploited the women in Miss Teen USA and Miss USA.
She didn't even remember the day that he raped her. You know, she also said that she found like graping as a kink. Like she liked that shit.
How much money do you want to bet?
Did she not say that?
No, I don't think she did put money on it right now. But you're
how much money do you want to put on it? And what do you guys mean, and what the fuck?
Yeah, do you want to put $1,000 on it, Mark?
Nah, that's crazy. I don't got money like that.
What about $500?
Bet. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. $500 bet. We're on. Go ahead and prove to me that she said that she likes grape.
Oh, well, I know that was the bet.
What do you think we're betting?
No, I just thought that you were gonna prove that she didn't say that.
So you have to prove the positive claim.
Yeah. So you want me to prove that?
Right.
Can I like go and pull it up instead of me like bringing it up right now?
Yeah, you could go on pause and find resources. You won't leave the live. Just keep in mind that you do owe me $500. You're just gonna go prove to yourself that you owe me $500.
Okay, bet.
Yeah, don't even leave the live. Just go on pause and go to Google.
All right, BRB.
Awesome. All right. Well, folks, it is my lucky day. I'm about to be $500 richer. Holy hell. Holy hell, dude. Dude, I'm feeling good. Look at that. Easy money, bro. Easy money. Twinkle Toes, thank you for the $20 super chat over on YouTube. I really appreciate you for that. I love Twinkle. Twinkle with the $20 says, "Hey Dean, I wanted to give myself a birthday present to you to celebrate you and Parker for being the best of humanity. You both make me so proud and helpful for the future of our future generations." Twinkle Toes, that is so fucking kind of you. I hope that you have literally the best birthday ever. Spam some W's for Twinkle Toes down below in that comment section. And please also just show some love to her for her birthday. Happy birthday, Twinkle Toes. Alongside Pierce with the $20 over on Venmo. I appreciate that. And then Sam Gray with the $20 over on Venmo as well. Thank you so much, Sam Gray. Sam Gray says, "Hey Dean, I've become so informed from your stream. I'm an artist and I'm unsure if safety can be guaranteed in any way, even if I'm using a false name." It'll be okay, Sam Gray. I appreciate you for the $20. You'll be safe. No one's going to come after you for donating. As well as Bradley, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo.
All right. She said that rape is sexy.
Okay, yeah. No, she didn't.
Yeah, she said rape is sexy.
No, she said that other people think rape is sexy.
No, she said, quote, rape is sexy.
Okay, I'm about to be $500 richer.
All right, let's see it, bro. Hey, by the way, I'm just kind of curious. What's that bench, bro?
Right now, I don't know. I got a shoulder injury like a month ago. I haven't benched since. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Let's take a short break. I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Oh, you owe me $500.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasy.
You owe me $500. You owe me $500. Go ahead and give me $500. Pay up, my friend. $500. Venmo and PayPal on the link tree in the bio. Right now, send it. $500. Yo, listen, they're in the link tree in my bio. You can find my Venmo, my PayPal. They are publicly accessible. Actually, if you guys even want to help Mark by just spamming it in that TikTok chat, it is DEANWITHRS. Wait, whoa. I can also, just like put it up on screen for you. Let me just go ahead and like replace this text box real quick. I'll
Also,
put it up on screen.
okay, hold on. No, I got you. Trust. I got you.
No,
But hear me out.
whoa. I'm sorry. I'm not going to hear anything out until I have $500 deposited. And
You're gonna get $500, but look,
right there.
Look,
it's right there. You could just go
bro.
ahead and,
Okay, I got you.
I'll put it. Oh, look at it. It's up there too now. Look at that. Go.
Stop
go
trolling.
ahead.
Stop trolling.
No, I'm not trolling. You just owe me $500.
Hear me out. You can't really hate like Trump like that much, bro. Whenever your whole entire life is based off of this man, you make so much money just talking about him. Like you can't really hate him. Like if you really think about it, dude. Every single day you talk about this guy. Every single day, and
so you are actually
money.
jealous about my donations, and I'm so happy that you're jealous about my donations.
I'm not jealous.
Because you now have to donate me $500.
No, every day you make an absurd amount of money talking about this guy that you so like they so much hate, but you can't really hate him.
You sound really upset because I make.
I'm not upset. Well,
I don't know if you weren't upset, if you weren't jealous, and you probably wouldn't be talking about it. Today, I'm going to make an absurd amount of money. I mean, $500 is a shit ton of money. So go ahead and right there. Do you want to send it right now?
Yeah, I got you, bro.
Okay, do it. Lexi, thank you for the $20 over on Super Chat. I appreciate you for the absurd amount of money. Thank you so much for the love, Lexi. As well as once again Mora with the $5 on Venmo. Aspen with the 70 cents. Maggie
Lexi,
with the $2.
you're stupid.
And now you're calling people stupid for donating to me?
Yes, they're stupid.
That's just gonna make them donate more. It's like it's self-defeating.
I know.
Like if I was you, I would like stop saying that. It'll just cause them to donate more. Just like focus on what your goal is, which is like donating me $500 because you lost a bet. I'm gonna be honest, man. That's what you should be doing. Bradley, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. And happy birthday to Bradley's wife, Cara. Cara, if you're watching at home right now, happy birthday to you. Hell yeah. As well as Layla, thank you for the $25 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for being stupid, Layla. Thank you so much.
Hey, does it need to be $500?
Yep. Layla with the $25 says, Dean, you will always be invited to the cookouts. We love you. Keep spreading much needed knowledge. I appreciate you for that, Layla. That is so kind of you. Show some love to Layla. As well as Z, I'm just going to call you Z. Thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. And Emmy, thank you so much for the $22 over on PayPal. Thank you so much. Anna with the $5 over on PayPal saying, I'm stupid. Nice to meet you. Audrey with the $10 over on Venmo saying, this is for Alexi. Yeah, Alexi, you are not stupid. As well as Ashlyn with the $10 on Venmo saying, love you, Diva. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Love you too. And Millie with a $25 donation over on PayPal saying, I'm not stupid. You're not stupid at all, Millie. He's just pushed. Thank you for the love. I appreciate that. As well as Juan with the $20 over on Super Chat. Thank you for the love, Juan. Jennifer with the $10 saying, pay up, buddy boy. Jenna with the $15 saying, looking forward to getting called stupid. Appreciate you for that love, Jenna. Quincy with the $5. Jacob with the $5. Amy with the $10 saying he's trying to distract from the $500.
Do I get a pitch from
Trump
this money?
Distracts from the e-files. No, you actually
I'm making you this money.
No, you owe me.
I'm making you this money, though.
You owe me $500.
Okay,
right
can this be used towards the 500? So not only owe you like.
Wait. Are you asking for a free handout?
Yeah, bro. I mean,
wow, that's not very conservative of you. That's not very conservative of you. Shut the hell up. I have some people to thank. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Catherine, thank you so much for the $40 donation on Venmo. Holy fuck, Catherine, that is so much money. Holy shit. Catherine says, I'm here to be called stupid. Thank you for the love, Catherine. Dude, that's outrageous. Thank you so much. As well as Sam with the $10. I'm not stupid, Mark. Love you, D. Thank you, Sam. Briley with the $5. Thank you so much. Katie with the $5. Amy with the $10. Jacob with the $5. Kane with the $5 on PayPal. Heather, thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal. Gen X here. Thank you for bringing up the younger people into the quote unquote light and pay up, Mark. Thank you for the $20, Heather. And then Anna with the $5. Okay, back to you, sir. Are you going to pay up on your bet or not?
Yeah, I got you, bro.
Okay, when?
Maybe not today.
Why can't you do it today?
Because it wasn't fair.
I'll give you an out. I'll give you an option to not have to pay up on your bet. Would you like to know what that option is?
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
The option to not to have to pay up on your bet would be to admit that you're a spineless coward.
Absolutely not.
Oh, then you owe me $500.
Wait, but I'd have to admit I'm not a spineless coward, though.
Well, if you admit that you are a spineless coward, because...
Can you tell me how I'm a spineless coward?
Yeah, because you can't keep your word.
You know what? Was that the only thing? Was that the only thing that I had to prove?
If you admit that you're a spineless coward, then I'll happily just let it go.
So I have to say I'm a spineless coward.
Yes.
Okay, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's not gonna happen.
Then you owe me $500. I'm trying to be
but-
nice here. I'm trying to be nice.
No. But like, no.
Then $500, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Let's see.
Wait, but
Tori, thank you so much for the $30 donation over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Tori. That is Tori. Thank you so much. Tori with the $30 said it's first time sending money just to make Marky Boy mad. Lol, love you, Dean. I love you too, Tori. Thank you for the $30. And Therese with the $10. Thank you so much for the love, Therese. And Deli with a $5 saying you read. I appreciate that, Deli. Then Z with the $10 over on PayPal saying sending my stupid money. Olivia with the $10 saying call me stupid. And then Elijah with the $5.
You're stupid. Do y'all
Be quiet. Mic off. That's great. Vesna, thank you so much for the $50 over on PayPal. Holy fuck. Let's get 500 Vesna W's down below in the comment section for the $50. Jesus Christ, Vesna. Vesna with the $50 says stupid is making a bet with Dean, Mark. Yeah, I would agree. I don't lose the bets that I make. Thomas, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much for the love. Saying the other day when you did the Alex Jones impersonation, it had me rolling. It might have been better than Trump. Thank you for the love. I appreciate that. You were awesome. You were awesome, quite frankly, indeed. As well as, let's see here, Christina with the $10. Thank you so much for the love. Katie with the 2, Haley with a 5, and Jennifer with a 5. Thank you guys so much for your kindness. Okay.
Hey, I have a question though.
You don't get to ask a question. Last chance. Are you going to pay up or are you going to make to be a
She didn't get raped though. It wasn't penis and vagina.
Nicole, thank you for the baby dragon. Can a man rape another man?
Okay, it wasn't penis and vagina or penis and butt.
Can a woman rape a woman?
I don't know how.
By defining rape to include the forceful penetration of the female member with any object?
But that's not what rape was classified as, no?
According to whom? You?
The law.
So
that's why.
So the law is not a
why-
standard of. The law is not a standard of self-defining accuracy. The law doesn't tell us how we define words. We tell the law how we define words. Because if we didn't tell the law how we define words, and instead the law was a self-defining standard of accuracy, then the law would never change, right? Like during American slavery, the law never defined rape to include the forceful and unconsensual intercourse with an enslaved individual. And if we want to uphold your view, this means that there was not a single enslaved individual that was raped because the law never said there was. Obviously, that's wrong. Why? Because the law doesn't tell us what to think. We tell the law how to act. Now, are you going to pay me my $500 or admit to being a spineless coward? Last chance.
No. No, but that was a good point. Not gonna lie, but nah, you're not getting 500 from me.
Okay.
You make too much.
Teresa, thank you so much for the $100 donation on Venmo. Oh my God. Teresa, with the $100 donation on Venmo, says, I'm an old lady who enjoys listening to try to talk sense to these MAGA idiots, including Mark. The only good thing Trump did was offer federal employees deferred resignation, which allowed me to collect a paycheck for the last 7 months and not work. Thanks to the taxpayers. I appreciate you for that love, Teresa. Thank you so much for the $100. Show some love to Teresa down below in that comment section. I seriously really fucking appreciate you. That is so much money. Seriously, so kind of you. As well as Nina, I appreciate you for the $10. And Remy and Kelsey, I appreciate you for the $5. I would also like to thank Sherry for the $5 over on PayPal. Mengda, thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal. And Z with the $5. Thank you guys so much for the love. And Mark, real quick, what do we do to soccer balls?
I basically made you 500, by the way. So you're welcome.
Nope.
I did. Read up the motions.
What do I do?
You can't come on. I know.
Did you? We're going to move on to the next guest. Goodbye, Mark. Let's go ahead and hop in that queue. If you happen to support Trump as president, we're going to get you loaded into the stream. Alistair, I appreciate you for that cool little gift. Thank you so much. That's a cute little puppy. Yeah, dude, he did. He did. Yeah, yes, he did. Welcome in. Do you support Trump, Danny?
Oh, shit. My bad.
No worries, man. We're going to move on to the next guest. Go to put a Trump with your age down below in that comment section. We're going to get you loaded up in here. Everyone just be patient while we try to get that next Trump supporter connected. Jay Lee, I appreciate you for the $10.
Why, hello.
Hey, what's up, man? Do you support Trump?
What?
Do you support Trump?
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
But that's not why I'm here.
Okay, well, we're here. What is, can you read this for us real quick?
Yeah, I of course I support him, but what's your position?
Are you British?
In that position?
Are you British?
Yes. Yes.
Right. We're only looking to talk to American adults, guys. The rules for joining the live are as follows. Make sure if you are attempting to join the live that you are an American adult that indeed does support Trump as president. Just looking for some MAGA Americans, as well as, holy fuck, Jamie. Dude, you guys have been so kind today. Jamie with the $100 donation on PayPal. That is egregious. That is seriously too much money. I do not deserve that, Jamie. That is so fucking kind of you. Jamie with $100 says, thank you for continuing to make these people look like the idiots they are. They never change. Telling me to never change. Thank you so much, Jamie. That is so ridiculously kind. Thank you so fucking much. Holy cow. Show some love to Jamie down below, folks. Let's get 1,000 Jamie W's. Seriously, thank you so much for the love. What's up, Avery? Do you support Trump?
Hi, Dean. I do. And I would just love for you to pick my brain at it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I love these conversations.
Yeah, let's have a debate. Quickly, before we do, I'm just going to want to recap here and try to thank the rest of the donors. Allison, thank you for the $10 on Venmo, saying love you, Dean. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you, Allison. I love you, too. As well as Bailey with the $5. Colby, thank you for the $10, saying that Trump is destroying the environment. Yep, he doesn't even think that human-caused climate change is real. As well as Daliana, thank you for the $45 donation over on Venmo. That is so fucking kind of you. That is Dallina. Daliana says, thank you for educating. Can you say get well to Gabriella Wacker? Gabriella Wacker, I hope you feel better. I don't know what is ailing you, but I seriously do hope that you get better soon. Thank you for the love, Daliana, and I do hope that Gabriella feels better soon. As well as Brooke, thank you for the $10, and Carlos with the $10 over on Venmo. And then two last individuals here. Thank you so much, Scott, for the $20 over on PayPal, saying you're providing a great service to our country. Rock on. Scott, you're the fucking legend, bro. Thank you for the $20. Take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Okay. Also, W to the people who donate. I love supporting free speech like that. So, and I also donated to you. So I totally supported, though we don't think the same. I
appreciate you.
I feel as though I definitely lean more right, and I did vote for Trump in this last election. Sorry. I'm so happy to be talking to you. The whole, I guess, what they call a border crisis, I just don't see what is so wrong about people coming here legally. Like people.
There's nothing wrong with people coming here legally.
So whenever I have this conversation with people, I always find that people are like, everyone can come in and, just kind of do what they want. Like, I wouldn't let somebody into my house that's not invited. Kind of thing. So
you shouldn't make a parallel between your house and the border, because I think it's intuitionally loaded. For instance, do you think that American citizens should be able to freely travel across the southern border?
I believe so. Obviously, with a passport and the right papers to do so.
Yeah. Does this mean that you think that American citizens should be able to freely travel in and out of your house?
Okay, no.
You see what I mean there? See what I mean?
But yeah, okay. I obviously love to have my brain picked at for sure. But yeah, I just, really back and forth. I hear a lot about drugs coming over the border and such.
Make sure to not say the names of any specific DRUGS, and it'll even increase your likelihood of not getting banned if you spell it out like DRUGS. Just TikTok TOS is super weird when it comes to that.
Oh, okay. Thank you. But yeah, I hear a lot about DRUGS coming over the border. And I mean, again, I did listen to your conversation with a previous, honestly, total nincompoop, because that whole conversation turned into some misogynistic brain fuck. But limiting drugs as much as possible. I just, that whole thing is really just kind of what picked my brain at the whole thing.
Okay, so you support Trump because you think that he's good for immigration policy and limiting DRUGS coming into this country. I actually think that he's not good for DRUGS coming into America at all, because he's always been hyper fixated and focused on undocumented immigrants. But when it comes to DRUG trafficking into America, undocumented immigrants are not the problem. 80% of the DRUGS that are brought into this country are brought in by citizens. And honestly, this should make sense, right? The cartels or like the drug creators and distributors will hire citizens to drive into Latin America, get the DRUGS, and then drive them back into America through a legal port of entry, okay? Because being an American citizen and coming into this country through a legal port of entry at the southern border is like the least intensive, easiest way to bypass scrutiny and eyes coming into America. When you're an immigrant, even if like you're a legal immigrant, you undergo more scrutiny. If you're an undocumented immigrant and you get caught, they automatically have reason to detain you because, well, you don't have legal residency or citizenship. So they automatically have access to search you, your person, and your being, right? So that is why citizens bring the DRUGS into America. Has Donald Trump ever talked about the citizens bringing DRUGS into this country ever?
No, I don't think so.
My point, right? So I think that Donald Trump has failed the American people because he acts like he's so hyper-fixated on immigration but never talks about the real issue with the citizens bringing the DRUGS in. Second point, I don't think that Donald Trump has ever effectively reduced undocumented entry in any meaningful long-term manner. Let's first discuss what causes undocumented entry. I think ultimately the incentive for undocumented entry is going to be the fact that legal entry takes too long, is unattainable, and too expensive. Do you agree or disagree?
I do agree. I do agree with that.
So in other words, the way to eradicate all incentive for undocumented entry and significantly reduce it now and in the long term would be to eradicate and end the fact that legal entry takes too long and is too expensive. Has Donald Trump ever done as much as stood in front of a podium on a mic and said that he wants to make the legal means of entry into America more attainable for more people?
Has that happened?
Nope. So he's never addressed the root cause of undocumented entry, and he's never suggested a real long-term fix for undocumented entry. The only thing he has done to reduce undocumented entry is playing a wannabe fascist and like violating the human and constitutional rights of those undocumented immigrants that are already in our country, scaring away new undocumented entry. But that's immoral, it's not long-term, and it's not good policy.
Okay. Thank you for educating me and picking my brain. I do appreciate that. Am I able to ask you a question?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're, all about conspiracy theories, but there's a lot of conspiracy theories right now about Charlie's death and about just, was it planned and all that. Do you have any thoughts
I wouldn't believe
on
him.
that?
If I was you, I wouldn't believe him.
Okay.
Conspiracy theories are just always born out of fragility.
Okay. Because I'm seeing a lot of Candace Owens posts and things like that about her, really, really investigating into it.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't been up to date with Candace Owens. I'm talking about the crazy people on Instagram that'll zoom into somebody that was standing beside him saying that, oh, they pulled a pistol. Insofar as what Candace Owens is saying, I've seen a lot of people saying she's cooking, let her cook. I haven't been keeping up with it.
Okay. Also to the chat, I'm 23. Yeah. Sorry.
I believe your age. Okay. Do you have any
I
other
look
reasons?
like I'm 17. I know.
Do you have any other reasons why you support Trump?
I'm not sure. It's kind of what felt comfortable in that moment, but I am always happy to be educated and I support freedom of speech and I love discussing it.
Okay, well,
so thank you.
Yeah, one last thing I'll leave you with. If you support freedom of speech, you shouldn't support Trump. He has infringed on every facet of the First Amendment. You said it was illegal to criticize him in the media. There goes freedom of speech. You said the literal institutions of CNN and MSNBC were illegal. There goes freedom of the press. You said that protesting and boycotting Tesla were illegal. There goes freedom of protest. And he tried to impose a Muslim ban, banning all new immigrants that are Muslim coming into the country in his first term. There goes freedom of religion. So if you support the First Amendment, if you support freedom of speech, you should never support Trump in a billion years. I appreciate you for coming up. I hope you consider that and tune along stick along for the streams. But at this point, we are going to move on to the next guest. Elizabeth, thank you for the $20 over on Super Chat. I appreciate you for that love. Saying I'm a full-time registered nurse and can't buy a house. Something is wrong here. Why will Trump not address that? He has never spoken about the pricing of houses. He's never put forth any housing affordability policy when it is literally one of the biggest issues that the average American faces today. The pricing of houses is so insane. It is so insane. Houses are unattainable, and we need to act now to do something about it before it gets even worse. As well as Emily, I appreciate you for that $20 super chat saying stupid tax for the spineless bailout relief charity. I appreciate you for that love. Thank you, Emily. Show some love to Emily down below. As well as Justin, I appreciate you for that $15 donation on PayPal saying keep up the great work. Thank you so much, Justin. That is very kind of you. And yeah, we're going to move on to that next Trump supporter. Hop in that box if you are an American adult that supports Trump as president, and we'll get you loaded in right away. What is up? Do you support Trump? Mindy, thank you for the galaxy. Okay, Max isn't here, so we're going to go ahead and skip Max and move on to the next guest. Go ahead and put a Trump with your age down below. We got Jackson loading in. As well as Mal, that is MAL, thank you for the $10 on Venmo, saying, Dean, you're cool as hell. I'm 19 and you inspire me to actually...
I'm going to join Dean Withers live right now.
Child, sorry, goodbye. Mal, I appreciate you for the love. I apologize that me reading your donation got cut off by them, but I had to kick them because they're a kid, and I really appreciate you for your kindness. Moving on to Alex. As well, Samantha, thank you for the $12 on Venmo, saying that you've completely changed my perspective on so many things, and I'm truly grateful. Samantha, you are literally why I do this live. I should be thanking you, not the other way around, and I appreciate you for being open to new information. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Age, please.
20 years old.
Awesome. Real quick, couple more people. Kristen, thank you so much for the $15 on Venmo. It's good to see you again. I'm sorry if I've been missing your donos. I did see that one, and I hope that you're doing well. As well as Cameron, thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo. Thank you so much, bro. Saying I've been watching you for about 2 weeks now, and I'm really enjoying the content. It's crazy how detached some of these people are, starting at the numbers and Trump's actions, and can still form a single negative thought about him. They can't form a negative thought about him. It is insane, dude. As well as, holy shit, Kiara, thank you so much for the $50 donation on PayPal. Fucking shout out Kiara, holy shit. Kiara says, you're one of the most educated people of our generation, and I look up to you so much. Love from a Canadian in France. Kiara, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of educated people out there. You know, I just happen to be one of the educated people with like a larger platform, and I'm only educated on specific issues. But there's many people out there that are so much more educated than me. But Kiara, I seriously really appreciate that. Please show some love to Kiara down below. As well as Justin with the $15. Thank you so much for the love. Okay, go ahead and unmute. Show some love to Kiara, seriously. Show some love to Kiara for the crazy people below. Oh, you were up here like 2 days ago.
No, we didn't talk.
Yeah, we did. I remember you because of your repost.
About what? What did we talk about?
Bro, dude, why do you got Quan Mills reposted? What the fuck? But no, I remember you. You're a Fuente supporter, right?
I never said that.
Oh, so you do admit that you talked to me?
I never said I was a Fuentes supporter.
Yep, you admit said he talked to me. Goodbye. We only talk to people once. Hop in that box if you support Trump as president. We're going to move on to the next guest, Cash Boy. As well as, holy shit, Ida. That is IDA. Thank you so much for the...
Wait, would you like to... Sorry for interrupting you. Would you like to debate my brother?
How old are you?
I'm 14, but he's 20.
If you throw him on right now, sure.
Yes, sir.
While he's getting his brother, Ida, thank you so much for the $50 donation over on PayPal. Ida, that is really kind of you.
The other day.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt this transaction with a brother and his brother.
Debate him?
Thank you, Ida.
Connor, would you want to debate him? Right now. One chance. Come on. Oh my god. I don't think he's gonna wake up.
Scared loser running away. I'm just kidding. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Dude's just he's taking a nap. Let's go to get that next guest, Aaliyah, up in the box. And seriously, I want to thank you again. Please show some love to Ida in that box, guys. They donated $50 over on PayPal. That is unreal. Thank you so much, Ida. What is up? Do you support Trump?
Fuck her right in the pussy.
Is that a yes or a no? That was weird. What the fuck? Weird. We hear some weird shit on here sometimes, guys. What the fuck? Oh, dude. I'm not laughing at what they said. I'm just like laughing at the circumstance. Like, why would they come up and say that? Like what like caused them? Just whatever. We're gonna move on to the next guest. Hop in the queue if you support Trump as president. We get some weirdos on the stream, y'all. We get some weirdos on the stream. Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Oh shit! What the fuck? No, dude, my bad. I did not mean to join.
No worries. Your voice sounded kind of like AI. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to identify why, but it did. You have a good one, bro. Guys, go to put a Trump with your age down below in that comment section if you would like to join. Just keep in mind, I only want you to join if you're an American adult that supports Trump as president. Just because a lot of the people in the queue aren't here to debate. Just because a lot of the people in the queue aren't here to debate. Just because a lot of the people in the queue. Katie, I kicked you because of that crazy echo. I think when I kicked you, though, it did stop. So if you are a Trump supporter, hop back in that queue. As well as Tori. Tori, thank you so much for the $40 donation on Venmo. Tori, that is so freaking kind of you. Thank you, Tori. Let's get 400 Tori W's down below. That is TORI. Seriously, thank you so much for your generosity. They say, as someone who is a CSA survivor of 10 years, it took years to come out about it because it was my stepdad and priest in the Mormon church. I will never understand how people attack victims for not speaking out. Per my own experience, they get shut down and their lives threatened. Tori, that is like seriously like one of like the most atrocious things that can happen to a human. Like it physically pains me to even like read that message off. I'm so sorry that happened to you, and I'm happy that you're here with us today. In a general sense of literally being here, you are stronger than 99.9% of humans that have ever lived, and also in a second literal sense of actually being here in the live with us. And I hope that you're enjoying this stream, and we all love and appreciate you. Let's go to get that next guest up here. Hop in that queue if you support Trump. We'll get you loaded up. Man, that is so hard hitting. And it should be too. That should be hard hitting because of just how truly gruesomely terrible that is. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Hi, Teeny Pie.
Dude, I'm losing it. I'm losing it, guys. We're going to go to move on to... I'm losing it, dude. I'm losing it. Hop in that queue if you... Moving on to Richie. This is ridiculous. What's up, Richie? Do you support Trump as president?
I do support Trump as president.
What do you think it is? Why do you think I can't find like literally any Trump supporters to debate?
I actually don't know. I think you've blown up a lot more recently, and I think that a lot of people come in and just try to troll because they're like, oh, there's a lot of people viewing. You know? Maybe.
Let me thank two people before I give you the mic. I'm just going to call you D because I don't know how to pronounce your first name. But D, thank you for the 20 pounds on Super Chat saying, Dean, you rock, Irish fan. Hell yeah, dude. Appreciate y'all for the Guinness. Best beer ever, and I appreciate you for the 20 pounds. All the love to Ireland. As well as Chloe. Holy God, dude. Chloe, thank you for the $51 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, Chloe. That is so much money. That is so generous. Thank you, Chloe. Chloe says, love you so much. Dean, have a good day, and don't forget to take care of yourself. Thank you, Chloe. I'm going to be taking care of myself this evening, doing a family dinner. I cannot wait. Thank you so much, D and Chloe. Y'all are the real fucking deal. All right. Why do you support Trump as president?
I like his immigration policy.
Okay. All right. Which immigration policy?
Deporting illegal immigrants.
Okay. And what is one materially positive outcome of mass deportation?
One net positive outcome would be that people who came into this country illegally wouldn't be here anymore and can come back legally.
Yeah. And how's that materially benefit our country?
It materially benefits the immigrants themselves more, actually.
It does not benefit the immigrants to forcefully.
So it's better to be an undocumented immigrant than a documented legal immigrant with
okay, that's what you mean. You're saying it materially benefits the immigrants by allowing them to go back to do it the legal way. Okay, all right. Well, it is better to be a legal immigrant than an undocumented immigrant. And if you're saying that you support mass deportation because of the material benefit to undocumented immigrants, first and foremost, I think that you're being like incredibly like bad faith. Like obviously, no, it is not beneficial to deport them, to send them to CCOT where they're beaten and tortured, held for years, just to then have to wait in line again for 12 years to become a citizen. I think that maybe if you are not being bad faith and you genuinely mean this, we could agree that a better alternative to mass deportation would be mass amnesty, in the sense of giving the undocumented immigrants a pathway to residency or citizenship while they're already in the country, so they don't have to go back to another country, then wait 12 years to be back in America.
I just don't think they should be given. They shouldn't gain a benefit over the people who are already in that line.
Wait, didn't you just say
because
that
they
you
were
support
already
mass
here.
deportation because it gives them a benefit?
It does, but it also would give, if we stopped deporting them and started doing mass amnesty like you're saying, it would give the people who are trying to legally immigrate a harder time themselves, and they shouldn't be punished for other people committing crimes and breaking into our country.
Well, that's why I think that we should offer the same expedited pathway to residency or citizenship, not just to the undocumented immigrants that are already in this country, but also to all and anyone that wants to seek legal entry into the country.
But you think that like undocumented immigrants should get a fast pass to citizenship?
Yeah, I think anyone who wants to be a citizen outside of a couple like different groups of people like those with prior violent offenses, so on and so forth, should get a fast pass to citizenship because it helps the country, right? And another way to think about this, because you just said that you wouldn't support mass amnesty because you think that it'd serve as a detriment to legal immigrants. No, I actually think it'd help the legal immigrants because guess what? Mass amnesty would make our country better off and would protect and build our economy. Undocumented immigrants already contribute $1.1 trillion through $1.7 trillion to the GDP per year and pay $100 billion in taxes per year. We give them residency, we give them citizenship, we're giving them bargaining power so they could get higher wages from their employers, and we're giving them more incentive to work over the table and pay taxes since they can claim state and federal benefits in all states, in every corner of the country, and they could file for a tax return. So they would be more likely to work over the table, meaning they're more likely to pay taxes, and they'd be more likely to pay more taxes and more likely to contribute more to the GDP because they'd be more likely to get higher wages, thereby creating a more productive economy that is growing at a faster rate and giving the government more revenue to turn around and spend on said economy and the citizens slash constituents of the country, which will then propagate a better environment socially and economically speaking for illegal immigrants to be walking into once their claim of legal immigration is approved. Do not act like a plan of mass amnesty would serve as a detriment to legal immigrants when it would only materially benefit them.
I think it would materially benefit the people who are already in this country more, though, and I think that that is like inherently wrong. I think that the people who are trying to come in legally deserve more of a fast track than the people who aren't.
No, I'm
who are
saying
already in the
we just
country.
give like those that are trying to legally come into the country that same expedited pathway to residency or citizenship to the undocumented immigrants. And I just think that you're being bad faith by attempting to construe an argument born out of a care for legal immigrants on the matter, considering how Donald Trump's mass deportation has also impacted legal immigrants by holding people like Mahmoud Khalil in ICE detention centers for 3 months, and considering how mass deportation hurts new legal immigrants by giving them a worse country to walk into because of the destructive effects of mass deportation on our economy.
How is it destructive on our economy?
Well, I mean, because of the facts that I've already went over. I already told you how the American Immigration Council tells us that if we were to remove all undocumented immigrants tomorrow, our GDP would fall by 1.1 trillion through 1.7 trillion per year. Our government would lose out on the $100 billion that they pay per year in taxes, and they'd be spending $2 trillion in the next 10 years just to get the operation done and underway. And when our government is making less money, spending more money, and the economy is less productive, and we're firing 8.3 million of our workers, removing 11 million of our consumers, meaning less goods are getting produced and less goods are being bought, we're destabilizing our industries. And obviously, a slimming GDP with less government revenue and more government expenditure with a more destabilized economy is going to be a worse state of affairs for legal immigrants to be walking into. Boom. Case closed. Those are the facts. Would you like to respond to the facts?
Yeah, so that money that we make off of allowing them in legally, we've already spent more than that on having them in the country. Like all the money that we do make off of them is spent more on keeping them in the country illegally than getting them that citizenship. Like we're already losing money having illegal immigrants in the country.
Yeah, according to whom?
You said how $100 billion.
Yeah, we can't hear you when you leave the app. I feel like you're getting
My
a
bad.
House report that says they cost $156 billion per year. Am I right?
I am going to give you that report. And why is that report wrong?
Because it considers citizens as undocumented immigrants.
What citizens?
The citizen children of undocumented immigrants.
Oh, does it actually?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I will actually accept that then. Shit.
Yeah.
They're citizens. I think birthright citizenship is actually important too. I don't like that Trump's trying to get rid of that. I like birthright citizenship.
Yeah, so then you don't support how he attempted to unconstitutionally infringe on the 14th Amendment his first day in office with Executive Order number 14160. Well, I mean, you just said that committing a misdemeanor was enough to warrant a removal from the country if it's an undocumented immigrant. Now you're saying violating the Constitution.
If the misdemeanor is entering our country illegally,
the White House if you're the president?
I think people should get removed for the misdemeanor because the misdemeanor is breaking into our country. The punishment kind of fits the crime there. If you break into our country illegally and you get caught doing so, you get removed
so
from
you're
the
saying that
country.
the punishment fits the crime. Can we agree that whenever a president is inaugurated, they take an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution? So therefore, violating the Constitution, getting kicked out of the White House, punishment fits the crime?
I guess, but I don't think that's happened.
You just said, I guess? Are you saying that you guess Donald Trump should literally be thrown out of the White House?
If you break your oath, you have broken your oath. Yeah, that's kind of...
So you're just conceding. You just said, I guess Donald Trump should be impeached.
They've already tried that.
Would you support them trying again?
Would I support it? No, I don't. I don't know. I really don't think I would.
So then why did you say, I guess you would support him being impeached if you don't actually mean it?
Because I see where your standpoint is coming from.
Okay, so do you agree or
Like,
disagree?
in theory, that's accurate. Like, in theory, if somebody breaks their oath, if somebody's oath is, if I don't follow this oath, I will not be president anymore, and they break that oath, then they get removed as president. That is kind of how that logically would play out.
So theoretically, you'd support Trump's impeachment?
If it was black and white like that, yeah, I would, but it's not black and white like that.
Okay, and what's the nuance that means although you'd theoretically support his impeachment, you don't actually in the real world?
Because he didn't actively infringe on the Constitution.
Yeah, you did. Executive Order number 14160, signed into law January 1st, 2025, actively infringed on the 14th Amendment, particularly.
Then why hasn't he been impeached? Why hasn't he been impeached then?
Because of a GOP majority in both chambers of Congress.
So do you think that if the Democrats win the midterms, he's going to be impeached?
I think that if the Democrats win the midterms, they'll certainly try. Yeah.
All right. I don't think that's true. I just don't think that's what would happen.
Come on, they tried to impeach him 2 times his first term, and Trump 2.0 is like a billion times
They
worse
failed
than Trump
miserably,
1.0.
and they realized, damn, it's probably not a good idea to try this.
Do you know why they failed? Like, especially the second time they tried to impeach him? It's because our congressmen and women were so dumb they didn't know that you could impeach a president even if they weren't president anymore. Did you know that? They tried to impeach him for his fake electorate plot when he attempted to steal and rig the 2020 election from Biden.
You're telling me that the Democratic Party's stupid? Doesn't understand the rules of
Well, I mean, here's where you learn. I definitely don't think we have the best congressmen and women on either sides of the aisle. Yeah.
I don't either. I think that way better options on both sides. I do agree with you there.
Right. But it was mostly Republicans.
Who didn't impeach Trump again? I would hope that his own party wouldn't impeach him.
Wait, really? Are you saying that the GOP congressmen and women should value party lines more than the future of the country?
No, but I think that they do. I think they actively do that.
Yeah, but you wouldn't hope that they would actively do that.
I wouldn't expect it. I meant expect, not hope.
Right. So anyways, so you're telling me theoretically you would support Donald Trump being impeached, but you don't actually support him being impeached. Why is that? Because the last time I asked you this question, you said it's because he wasn't actively infringing on the Constitution. So would this mean if he was actively infringing upon the Constitution, that you would no longer support him?
Depends in which manner he's infringing upon the Constitution.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean it depends?
I mean that it depends on like what he's doing. Yeah, like
okay, so
yeah, like what if he's infringing? What if he's infringing on the Constitution? Because what if he removed the Second Amendment tomorrow? Would you support that?
No.
You're lying. I just don't believe that you would be happy if the Second Amendment got repealed.
Wait. I don't think the solution is to gun violence is to repeal the Second Amendment.
Then what is the solution?
That is not the solution to gun violence. The solution to gun violence is common sense gun reform that we've already seen work in other countries. But that common sense gun reform isn't attempting to illegally take down the Second Amendment with executive power. Would you support him tomorrow if he tried to take away 2A?
Absolutely not.
Because you support 2A?
I do.
Didn't you earlier tell us that you support birthright citizenship?
I do. How do these contradict each other?
Because if he illegally tried to take away birthright citizenship, you'd stop supporting him in that circumstance too, right?
Depends.
Oh, wait, so why does it depend for birthright citizenship, but it doesn't depend for 2A? Is maybe the difference that Donald Trump actually has illegally infringed upon birthright citizenship?
What was that? Repeat that.
So why does it depend for him infringing on birthright citizenship, but it doesn't depend for him infringing on 2A?
Because how effective was that executive order? If it infringes on the Constitution, it just doesn't go through. That's just like how that
Right,
works.
because courts strike it down. Yeah, that is how it works. Wait, which only further demonstrates why.
It's been upheld.
Oh, wow. Well, if it wasn't infringed on when he signed that executive order into law, why did the court strike it down? Boom. It's because it infringed on the Constitution. You like, this is like saying if I were to break the law and go 20 miles over the speed limit and a cop catches me like an hour into me going 20 miles over the speed limit, they're going to pull me over and correct my action because I infringed on the law by speeding, very similar to how Donald Trump infringed on the Constitution with Executive Order number 14160.
You asked me if I would support him if he tried to do that. And I actually said I don't support that he tried to do that, but I just don't support his impeachment over it.
So overall, like, why do you still support Trump as president, even though he's like a wannabe authoritarian that doesn't care about the Constitution?
I think that he's way more beneficial to our country than Kamala.
Okay, name one way he's materially benefited America in the last 8 months.
So, just like the whole situation in the Middle East in general, honestly, I think that Trump is better fit to handle it.
You think that Donald Trump, the guy who said that Israel should be able to annex the rest of the
He actually just said they're not going to be able to annex it. Didn't he just say that?
About the West Bank. I won't believe it until I see it. I'm talking about the Gaza Strip, though. He said, oh yeah, guys, finish the job you started. In fact, we will literally help you ethnically cleanse the remaining part of the Gaza Strip by threatening sanctions on Jordan and Egypt if they do not accept the forceful Palestinian refugees. And then we'll go into the Gaza Strip, bulldoze it, flatten it, build a Riviera, and then give the Gaza Strip to Netanyahu.
And I think that he's flipped on that view completely, honestly. I think that like, since he said that, he's just flipped on that. Okay. It has been exhibited.
Then go ahead and demonstrate that.
He's been going against Netanyahu for the past, 2 months, Dean.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't been going against Netanyahu because the money's still flowing, the bombs are still being signed, and he's still okay with their annexation of the Gaza Strip. It is actually other countries like Germany, Australia, and Canada that are now recognizing Palestinian statehood, and are now not offering any funding for weapons or bombs, and are finally starting to agree with the UN in the sense that we have plausible reasoning to believe that the state of Israel is committing an ethnic cleansing or genocide. Donald Trump, on the other hand, denies that, says that Israel is America's best friend, continues to send them the money and the weapons, and continues to support their ongoing ethnic cleansing of the Gaza Strip. The statement that you brought up was him saying that he wouldn't allow it in the West Bank. Okay, even if that was true, the West Bank is different from the Gaza Strip, but I'm not going to believe it until I see it.
Well, I mean, we're kind of actively seeing that. He's putting the border down now, saying, hey.
Okay, so then what is the relevant change in policy directed towards Israel?
I mean, you were just saying that this whole entire presidency, he's been giving them exactly what they want. He has just went out and spoken out against them publicly. Yeah, he doesn't need to directly sign something in for geopolitical...
Like I said, I'm not going to believe it until I see it. Netanyahu's
and that's not a valid response in the debate. I don't believe that that's going to happen, even though he said it. So everything that you say from now on, I'm just going to say I don't believe that.
Wait, are you saying that it's invalid?
I'll believe it when I see it.
Wait, is
Dean?
it invalid for me to suggest that Donald Trump is not an infallible foundation of truth? As if he didn't lie 30,000 times in his first term? As if he didn't tell the biggest lie that any sitting president has ever told with his denial of the outcome of the 2020 election, and continues to repeatedly lie about the efficacy of vaccines, the nature of Tylenol, or even facts such as the idea that he's not actually guilty of his 34 felonies, he didn't actually grape B. Jean Carroll, or that he was the man of the year in Michigan 20 years back? Come on, no. You're literally trying to argue that I'm in the wrong if I don't take Donald Trump for his word. Come on, bruh.
What I'm just saying, like it's just a bad argument to me saying, hey, he literally just spoke out against what Israel is doing, and then you go, well, I'll believe it when I see it.
When did he speak out against what Israel's doing in Gaza?
He said he won't allow them to annex the West Bank. That's like that's speaking out against Israel, is it not?
Different than Gaza. We're talking about the ethnic cleansing in Gaza.
That's speaking out against Israel.
So okay, so you
showing that his views on Israel have changed from being Israel is 100% right.
You think that you could speak out? You think that you could speak out against Israel while still saying that you want to help the ethnic cleansing in Gaza?
He said he wanted to help them since he said they can't annex the West Bank. He doubled down on that since like when he said that. I think it was yesterday or today.
Dude, I'm going to repeat this for one last time. And at this point, I'm getting really upset because you are just foundationally misunderstanding truth. Okay, this is my last time going over this. And it's not unrealistic of me or anyone to not believe that Donald Trump truly means what he says about the West Bank, considering the fact, point number one, there's been no change in his policy directed towards Israel. Point number two, he's historically been a self-described pro-Israel president, the most pro-Israel president that we've ever had. Point number three, he lies all the goddamn time. Like, for instance, when he says that he didn't actually grape E. Jean Carroll, if I were to take Donald Trump at his word, saying that he wouldn't support the annexation of the West Bank, but he would support, but he also didn't grape E. Jean Carroll, I'd be forced into doing so if we were to accept his word of mouth as a standard of truth. And point number four, the fact that he literally offered the U.S.'s help in the ethnic cleansing of Gaza, it is completely reasonable for me to not believe him when he says that. Additionally, this is another point that is worth making. In his statement about the West Bank, he said, well, if we were to move on to the West Bank, that would be quote-unquote too much. Meaning that he does not think that the ethnic cleansing of the over 2 million Palestinians living in Gaza is too much.
I'm still kind of confused. Like, you don't know how he still feels on that now about Gaza at the second. He's going to meet with Netanyahu in a week. What if there is a peace deal delivered then?
Oh, so you're saying a type of ceasefire agreement that Israel is just going to violate again for the billionth time, like they did with the ceasefire agreement at the end of the Biden-Harris administration, that Donald Trump actually told Netanyahu to hold off and not accept until after the election so he could claim it was his doing. And then also, just in response to that last argument, you ignored everything I just said and suggested a hypothetical what if. Yeah, and like, what if fucking NASA determined the Earth was flat tomorrow? Like, come on.
That would be pretty crazy. That would be a lot less believable than a ceasefire between Israel and Gaza after next week.
Honestly, I might disagree.
All right. You can disagree with that. You can disagree with that, Dean. Dean. Have you ever watched Community, Dean?
No. Do you have any other
Dude, you remind me of the Dean.
Do you have any other reasons why you support Trump?
I think his first term was really good economically.
Okay.
Record low unemployment and whatnot.
Okay, so you're just going to look at a point, say there's really low unemployment, and then just basically associate it with being caused by him since he was president. Will you do the same thing with the 3 months where we had a lower level of unemployment under the Biden-Harris administration and say that the Biden-Harris administration caused even lower levels of unemployment than Trump?
They were given the already dropping levels of unemployment by Donald Trump.
They were given already dropped.
That was kind of dropped on them. It was kind of dropped upon their lap.
No, actually, in April of 2020, less than a year before the election, the unemployment rate was the highest it's been since the Great Depression. That is not a good argument.
And why was that?
Because of the pandemic.
Okay,
right? That doesn't change anything in my argument. You said that they were giving low dropping levels of unemployment. When they walked into office, the level of unemployment was 9%. What was the level of unemployment when Donald Trump walked into office in his first term?
Oh, what was it?
Like 4.
Okay. Still got it lower.
Right, exactly. Donald Trump walked into a lower level of unemployment, so if you want to attempt to...
But he sustained it for 4 years. He sustained it for 4 years.
If you want to attempt to make an argument that we cannot say it was Biden's fault that we had the even lower levels of unemployment that we did under the Trump administration, because when he walked into office, we had a particular level of unemployment, well, it was 9% when Biden walked in. It was 4% when Trump walked in, meaning that this argument would actually apply to Trump more than Biden. Do you get the point? Does everyone watching get the point? I actually want to start asking you guys about that. Like, does everyone get the point here of like what the last argument I made was? Like, okay, good. Because like I often gaslight myself into thinking that I'm just not speaking correctly or like portraying my point in like a clear manner because of like how little like gesture of like understanding I will ever get from the Trump supporter I'm debating. But do you understand that last point?
To an extent, I feel like sustaining that low level over 4 years doesn't mean like it means he did good.
Okay, so like
it didn't go up. The unemployment didn't go up. It continued to go down, and he sustained it for 4 years.
Okay,
How is that?
I very similarly argue that the Biden-Harris administration didn't just sustain downward pressure on the level of unemployment, but they actually performed better given the high level of unemployment onset by the pandemic compared to any other country in the G7, alongside other economic variables. And I wouldn't say that there's any policy, economically speaking, from Donald Trump's first administration that was all too notable. I would give him a good like C- for his economic policy in his first term, because although it didn't absolutely destroy the economy, it was still not optimal.
Do you think that if a Republican was voted in 2020, that say Trump won, do you think that the unemployment rate would have fallen the same way it did after COVID under Biden-Harris?
Say you were actually responded to my argument. Do you think we'd finally have a conversation with good productivity? I just feel like every time I make an
conversation with doing Nazi salutes and saying the N-word as a liberal.
What?
Have you never said the N-word or the R-word?
Well, what the hell is this coming from?
Your mouth.
Then also you said Nazi salutes?
Yeah.
Are you saying that I've done the Nazi salute?
Yeah, you're gonna say you've never done that once in your life?
Yeah, actually I will.
Don't lie to me, Dean. Don't lie to me, Dean.
So you suggesting that I'm lying?
Don't get me. Don't get me.
You suggesting that I'm lying means that you would have reason to believe that I have done the Nazi salute. Can you show me evidence that I've done the Nazi salute?
I just think that saying the N-word is the worst thing ever. And you say you're not racist, but you said the N-word, and that means you're a liar because you said it before.
What the hell?
You said something before that proves you're racist, and then you say you're not racist.
Yeah, like when I was 14, a friend texted me a Fortnite edit, and I said that's hella goated my N-word. That was racist. I do accept that, and I do agree. We've only been talking about this for the last couple of years. I'm pretty sure that my sentiment on the situation has been clear. Are you just upset that, like, I destroyed you in that debate, so now you're getting mad?
You destroyed
Like, what?
I'm sore and loose, Bean. I am sore and loose. You destroyed me.
We're going to go ahead and move on. Let's get that next guest loaded up in here. By the way, we got our FYP push pulled on TikTok. So we're either just going to ride the last hour of the stream here out or hit a restart here pretty soon. I would like to thank a handful of people for their love. Ross, thank you for the 20 euros over on YouTube Super Chat, saying stumbled on your TikTok a few weeks ago and love what you're doing. Thank you so much, Ross. That is very, very kind of you, bro. Please show some love to Ross down below. As well as Mila, 14 minutes ago, the 20. What's up, Jay? You support Trump?
Yeah, I support his crypto policy here in America.
Jay.
Why you laughing, man?
You don't have a shirt on.
I know, I'm out in Costa Rica on vacation right now.
Where are you at in Costa Rica?
I'm out in, where we are? I forgot the name of the city.
It's nice out there. Costa Rica's super nice, man.
Yeah, I love Costa Rica. I'm moving here in a year and a half because I hate America, dude.
Are you like a crypto millionaire?
I'm not like pro Maga, but I do support his crypto legislation.
Yeah, the Genius
But
Act?
everything else, he sucked, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
And the Clarity Act and the CBDC.
Yeah, the Genius Act's not bad. That was bipartisan, though. I mean, it was drafted by two Democrats, two Republicans. I'm going to go and assume that, like...
He's getting everybody a chance to, like, obtain some wealth, dude. Like, if there's a wealth transfer that ever occurred in American history, it is now. But other than that, he sucked, dude.
I disagree. I think that the Genius Act or something similar to the Genius Act would have passed if Harris had won the election. Assuming like you're in the niche, you're in the know. I mean, people have been begging for
She was ruining it for me. Can you hear me, Dean?
Yeah. People have been begging for regulations from the SEC for like ever now on crypto. That was bound to happen, and that's why the bill is bipartisan. But I don't think that he's good for like wealth at all. I mean, he's just imposed more barriers to building wealth for like low and middle income Americans. The big beautiful bill he passed, according to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, is reducing the purchasing power of over half of
I don't support that side of him. Yeah, I don't support that side. Everything else the dude spews hate. Like, I'm not a fan of him.
Yeah, you're honestly, I feel like I'm in like a chilled mood, just like looking at you, like hanging out on the beach. I'm in a chilled mood talking to you.
Oh yeah, do you want to see where I'm looking at right now?
Why not?
Yeah, a lot of kids here though. I think I'm gonna check out this resort in the morning. I'm here for 6 days, but we got so many damn kids here, and I got kids at home. Like, I'm not trying to see kids right now. I don't know how to turn the camera around, Dean. I'm sorry, man.
It's okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on.
But nah, dude, I voted for Kamala for sure, Kamala. But, yeah, thank you for bringing me in, man. But that's the only part of him that I do support. But
yeah, man.
Everybody definitely need to be voting blue, man. America is a terrible place. I was in the military, dude, so I've kind of been stationed in the Caribbean before. So I'm kind of used to this way of life, and it is much better. I'm all for everybody leaving America.
Listen, man, you have a good rest of your day. Enjoy your night on the beach.
But thanks for what you do, Dean, man. Keep up the good work.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You take care, Jay. You take care. Dude, I'm trying to get like him one day. I'm trying to get like him one day. I wish I could be running these debate lives in my swimming suit without a shirt on, chillaxing in some resort in Costa Rica. Fuck, dude. God, try to get like him one day. All right. Yeah. Well, let's go to get that next guest loaded up in here. Up in that queue of you support Trump. If you want to support me, I'm gonna get like him one day. I'm just kidding. You can find my Venmo, my PayPal on the top of the phone screen, but I'd recommend using the link tree in my bio. So you don't send it to one of the fake ones. There's a bunch of scamming fake Dean TikTok accounts out there. Let's move on to the next guest. Just make sure if you're in that queue. Hey, you support Trump? What's up? Do you support Trump? Okay. All right, they're not here. Moving on to the next guest. You know what I think when I think of like Latin American resort? I think of strawberry daiquiris. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Oh, yeah, I do.
You're like 14. Goodbye. Moving on to the next guest. Hop in that queue if you happen to support Trump as president. We're going to get you loaded up here.
Remember me, brother?
I don't do that with my fingers.
I know, but I have some good points. I have some great points that I'm about to say for you right now. No, I'm being for real this time.
Okay. All right, Ollie. Take it away.
All right.
You support Trump?
All right. So, one, Trump kicks all, like, illegals out. I have some points.
Bro.
2, Obama is in the Epstein files. 3, liberals are sensitive and don't realize Trump is a good Christian man. And if you get butthurt from that, then you are sensitive and you're just proving my point. And 4, he is a really good businessman. Like, he was very rich and then he got like sued and stuff, but then he got really rich again. And he just be making hella bread.
Ollie, the video that you made, I thought it was funny. Okay, right? But we can't have you believe in this shit because it goes from being funny to corny. Since
it's he's just a really good Christian man.
That a MAGA man is funny. So now you're just corny, Ollie, and I'm gonna unrepost your video. You're saying that he's a good Christian man?
He's a great Christian man.
You gotta be like rage baiting, right?
No, he's the best Christian man ever. He is so faithful.
Name one verse in the Bible.
Let there be light.
And what verse is that? If that is a verse?
Yeah, that's a verse. It's verse 700-47. He's just such a good Christian.
Get the hell off my stream. Get the hell off my stream. Steph, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. Steph with the $10 says, love your lives. I listen every day and love hearing you prove the red hat's wrong every time. Keep doing your thing. I appreciate that, Steph. That is very kind of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As well as Deanna. That is Deanna. Thank you for the $25 donation over on Venmo. Thank you so much, Deanna. Deanna says, this 63-year-old grandma absolutely loves you. Your arguments are so well thought out, very educational. Keep up the good work. Deanna, a.k.a. Penelope Pitstop. You know, Penelope, I feel like I've seen you in the lives before. That is very kind of you. I really appreciate you for the love. Also, I won't share this with the stream. I'm just looking at your profile picture. You look like just like a very happy grandma. I want you to know that. Deanna. I appreciate you for the $25. As well as Jamie, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. As well as I did read your message there. I appreciate you for the love. And then Magdalena with the $6 on PayPal saying hi from Germany. Dean, what's going on? Magdalena, all the love to Germany. As well as another Magdalena, funny enough. Thank you so much for the $10, saying basically the same thing the other Magdalena did, but said sending love from the UK. Love to the UK. Thank you both. And then Chloe, oh my God, dude. Thank you so much for another $63 over on PayPal. Dude, holy shit. Chloe, thank you so much. Chloe says, have an amazing day. You were literally my favorite person on TikTok, and it means so much for me for everything you are doing. So I want to pay you back for everything that you do. Chloe, that is so fucking kind of you. I really appreciate you for all the love that you've shown to me today. I think that you were so awesome. Please show some love to Chloe down below in that chat. Thank you. Seriously, Chloe, if you are watching this, you are an icon. I appreciate you so much for all of your kindness, love, and generosity. As well as I'd like to thank Charlie for the pound donation over on Super Chat. Thank you, Charlie and Chloe. Show some love to Charlie and Chloe. Charlie says, so much love from the UK. Thank you for what you and Parker do. I saw the Donald Tylenol speech on your stream. First I ever watched it, and now it's insane to see how much he's repeated himself. Dude, he is broken and stuck on repeat like 90% of the time. He is senile. That is a fact. Thank you for the $50. As well as Feisty with the 10. Good to see you, Feisty. Thank you for the love. What is up, Steph? Do you support Trump?
Hey, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to say that I love you so much and I appreciate everything you do. I'm so sorry. I just needed to say that.
I appreciate you for the love. They made a whole fake account just for that. Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right, chat. So here's what we're going to do. This next debate is going to be the last of the night. We're going to be on for 3 hours and 30 minutes today. We're going to be cutting it a little bit short. I do apologize for cutting it short. I just have to start planning for a family dinner that's here in around an hour. And I think I won't have enough time to do that if I do the full 4 hour stream. There we go. So this will be the last one. I just want to make sure that, everything's going to be running well. Let's go to get that next guest up here. Right now. For those of you that have been here for a longer time, do you guys remember all the drama that happened last year with my bro? Do you remember all that? Yeah. I don't know if he's going to be at the dinner tonight, but I haven't really seen him since. And I think I'm supposed to see him here soon. So I'll let you guys know if that could be mended. I don't know if it can or not, but it would be nice to try to be on speaking terms with my brother. I really value family. I really value family a lot. And that was really hard for me. I wonder how that's going to play out. What's up? Do you support Trump?
I do, yes.
How old are you?
And I myself am a migrant.
Nice. How old are you?
19.
Okay. So why do you support Trump as president?
Well, I just like a lot of his policies. I myself am not a Democrat. I'm a third positionist, but I align more with him than I do Kamala.
What state do you live in?
Maine.
What's the capital of Maine?
Bro, I don't know. I don't care.
What time is it?
What time is it? Ah, fuck. All right, bro. I'm a third positionist. Trust me. Third positionist is on the rise, bro. I swear.
What is that?
The third position?
Yeah?
It's a mix between the left and the right.
So you just mean like a moderate?
No, I mean a mix, like National Socialism.
No. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest. Not even funny. Let's go to get the next guest Joe up in here. And that wasn't even funny.
Yo.
What's up? Do you support Trump?
I got a question for you.
Doesn't sound like you do. We got to kick you. If you're wondering what National Socialism is, that's what Hitler did. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Only up in that queue if you support Trump as president, folks. This will be the very last guest of the day.
Holy shit.
What's up? Do you support Trump?
Here's the thing. I voted for Trump, but I'm maybe not who you really want to talk to anymore, because I'm just here to say I've been listening to you, and I appreciate everything you've been saying, and no, not anymore.
Dude, let's go. Fuck yeah. Dude, I love to hear that shit. I'm being serious. I do. I love to hear that shit. I'm really happy that you've been able to change your mind. You're awesome. Super based. Have a good rest of your day. I'm hoping that I could change the minds of other individuals like you. And that's awesome. By the way, National Socialism has nothing to do with socialism. National Socialism has just as much to do with socialism as urinal cakes have to do with cakes. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Age, please.
18. It's my birthday, and I've been waiting for this moment.
What?
2007. September 26th. 5 a.m. Please. I'm telling the truth.
Okay, do you promise that you're telling the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you said it's literally your birthday and you've been waiting for this moment. So I'm gonna allow you to continue. But like, do you like seriously like pinky promise that you were actually 18? Like pinky.
Yes, but the chat is making me kind of uncomfortable. Cause like no one believes me.
I'll tentatively believe you. Go ahead. Why do you support Trump?
Cause I'm pro-life. That's the main reason.
Okay, and how pro-life are you? Do you think that victims of rape should be able to access abortion? Do you hold those exceptions?
I'm honestly undecided on that. I'm more leaning towards no. I think they should be able to. Like, I'm pro-choice after that.
Okay. Actually, I have a really good question to confirm that you're actually 18.
Okay.
If you're actually 18, you will be able to answer the question that I'm about to ask you with no hesitation whatsoever. Are you ready?
No.
What did you get for birthday? For your birthday?
A Tesla.
What model?
I'm not sure. It's not a Cybertruck. If that's what you're gonna ask.
Huh. So you got a car, so you have your driver's license?
Yes.
When you're driving down the road and there's a dotted yellow line next to a solid yellow line, and you're on the side with a dotted yellow line, what does that mean for you?
Are you really asking me if I can drive?
Well, this is just like a question to confirm that you have a driver's license, which increases the likelihood that you're actually 18.
Okay, what was your question?
If you're driving on the road and in the middle of the road, there's a dotted yellow line next to a solid yellow line, what does that mean for you?
That means you can't change lanes.
And you're on the side of the dotted yellow line. The likelihood that you're actually 18 is going down. It is really going down. It is significantly dropping with every second that passes.
Okay, I'm just gonna go then. but I am 18.
Chat, what do you think?
Okay, I don't want to leave it up to the chat, so I'm gonna go though.
I want to believe her, but like
typing.
I don't know if I
Girl.
You believe her? Okay, all right. So why do you think elective abortion should be banned? I'm being nice to you. I'm nicer than I should. Why do you think elective abortion should be banned?
Because I think it's wrong.
Okay.
That's why.
Why do you think it's wrong?
Because I believe that it's its own DNA and it's not exactly, even though it's attached to the mother's body, I don't think it's a part of her, and I think it's its own human that deserves rights.
Okay, and why does it deserve the right to life?
Because of human rights and it's its own human.
Do you think that all humans have the right to life?
What do you mean by that?
Like every member of the human species has the human right to life.
Yes.
Okay, so this means that you think that brain dead patients have the right to life, meaning it's murder to kill them?
What are the laws on that? I'm not decided on that because I'm not a doctor and I don't really know how that works.
Okay, well then you're just saying that you don't know if a human that's alive has the right to life, contradicting your position that all humans that are alive have the right to life.
Could you repeat that?
This means that you don't know if all humans that are alive have the right to life.
Okay, yes. Well, yes. They all deserve the right to life.
Life begins at conception. Life begins at conception. So if you kill an innocent human life after conception, it's murder. Can I get a yes real quick? Verbal yes? Yeah. Perfect. So
I think that you've already been up here.
Me?
Yeah.
No. This is my first debate, like, ever.
Wait, bro, what? So this video has 1 million views and like all the comments are saying that like the guest destroyed me. Let's listen to this debate real quick.
Are you saying that was me?
Well, I'll listen to that on my own time. Anyways.
Oh, is it the video I reposted?
I'm not gonna believe her. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry. I'm gonna choose not to believe her. Maybe there's a handful of you guys that disagree with that decision, but it is a decision that I'm making. I'm gonna choose not to believe her. It's gonna be a combination of factors. More so like her lack of an ability to answer the question about driving on the roadway, and then like the argument that she gave, like it was like kind of incoherent. And she couldn't make like the logical parallel to like the example that I gave.
Sweet.
Joe, you're back. Have a good one. Let's go to move on to the next guest, guys. We don't have too much longer on the stream here. So if you are an American adult that supports Trump as president, go ahead and hop in that queue and we'll happily get you up here. If you do want to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio. What's up? Do you support Trump? Okay, and she's not here. Let's go ahead and move on, guys. Finding, or at least trying to find the very last guest. We only have around 8 more minutes on the clock, so this will be a shorter conversation. Courtney, thank you so much for the $20 donation over on Venmo. Courtney says, longtime fan, first-time donator. You give me hope for the future, Jins, that we can turn this around one day. Courtney, it's not that we can, it's that we will, okay? There is a light at the end of the tunnel. We just don't know when we're going to be out of the tunnel. Thank you so much for the love, Courtney. As well as Blake and Jeannie, I appreciate you both for the 5. Terrell with a 5, and Shannon with a 5, and Gina with a 5. Thank you, guys. Okay, if we don't get our last guest up here shortly, we are just going to go ahead and end for the evening. But we will try. We're probably going to try like another 3 or 4 guests if we can't find somebody to come up and debate. I love you. I appreciate you for that, love, Ava. You have a good one. If we can't find somebody to debate in the next 2 or 3 guests now instead of 3 or 4, we are going to go to the end for the night, unfortunately. But let's give it one last try. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Hey, Dean, if you give me like 5 seconds, I can make it quieter. I just got to go somewhere. Like, give me 5 seconds.
Yeah, are you MAGA? I'll assume he is. Oh, guys. Ooh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm yawning and shit. Holy shit. Oh, my goodness.
Because I legit have a good debate, but I'm getting off of work and I just got to go to one quiet area. Give me like 1 moment. It'll be like 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's fine, man. Take your 10. Parker, by the way, he should be on soon. PFP is crazy. Bro, I didn't even look at his PFP. It's, dude. Oh my God. These people are insane, bro. It's literally Trump with like a king's crown on and like fur over his shoulders. Literally insane. He has reposts about Charlie Kirk spewing hate speech. No right-winger has that right now. They are not a Trump supporter. We're going to go ahead and try one or two more guests here, folks. They were definitely not a Trump supporter. He had like a repost talking about, you know, like Charlie Kirk being hateful and whatnot. You were literally not. Are they okay? Hello? What the hell? I mean, I hope they're okay. All right, guys, this is going to be our last attempt at getting somebody up of the day. If this doesn't work, we will be back tomorrow with more debates. However, this will be the last attempt to get somebody up for the day. So let's see if the Trump supporters can lock in and get in that queue. I'm also going to find somebody that looks like a Trump supporter. I'm looking for the Connors, for the Gregs, for the Joes. Oh, for the Chris. Chris! I bet Chris is a Trump supporter. Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I'm low-key not a Trump supporter.
Okay. All right, everyone. Unfortunately, we are going to go to an end for the evening. We are now out of time. I do have to go start prepping for that family dinner. Before we leave, I want to thank Ivy for the $20 super chat over on YouTube. Thank you so much for the love, Ivy. You are awesome. Thank you so much. Now, if you are still in the mood for some debates, Parker will be on here shortly. I'm actually going to shoot him a text the moment I end, just telling him that I just ended and that the people are craving some more debates. But I got to go start on dinner. I love you all. I will see you all tomorrow. Peace and love to everyone that was hanging out with us in here for the day. Peace and love, guys. I'm going to go to an end. Take care.